There are times when great champions are asked to do extraordinary things, to become bigger than the moment.
Henry Cejudo, you just shocked the world.
To welcome our gravest doubts and shatter every last one of them in just 32 seconds.
Gonna push it hard. Henry Cejudo! Do you believe it?
Tonight, in the UFC's return to the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, the flyweight champion is on a course for history as he meets head-on with one of the most punishing forces the bantamweight division has ever known in hopes of conquering a second world title and cementing himself among the pantheon of greats.
I am the greatest combat athlete of all time and soon to be bantamweight champion of the world.
Oh! Magic Marlon Moraes!
Nothing can stop me. I know I'm gonna be a UFC champion. I'm ready.
In the co-main event, the women's flyweight title is on the line as a rare blend of violence and grace. The Bullet looks to kick off her reign with a bang.
Say hello to your worst nightmare.
Against a surging challenger who has reinvented herself as a flyweight with enough ammunition in her arsenal to shock the world.
Stop counting me out. Dana, I want my title shot.
But not before a lightweight fight for the ages as the fastest draw in the West returns.
Cerrone, and that is it.
The Cowboy makes a quick turnaround to face the boogeyman of the division, a man whose name induces fear and whose singular mission through 11 straight wins has remained the same: seek and destroy. Will it be fireworks in Chicago, or will the wind blow in a different direction? Is Brazil's most explosive knockout artist destined to make maximum impact? Or will the Olympic gold medalist do yet one more extraordinary thing? It's two of the world's best, and two titles on the line. Live from Chicago, Illinois, it's UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes, and it starts right now.
Yes, Dateline, Chicago, Illinois. For the second straight year in the month of June, the UFC has taken over the second city. Last year, Robert Whittaker and Yoel Romero delivered an absolute championship classic. Tonight, we will have no fewer than two undisputed UFC titles on the line. Live inside United Center here in Chicago, Illinois, USA. This is UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes. Presented by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. We also remind you closed captioning is available for the entirety of tonight's telecast. As always, an absolute pleasure to have you with us on pay-per-view tonight. I'm John Anik inside the United Center here in Chicago. So back in 2008, Henry Cejudo struck Olympic gold in Beijing. 10 years later, 2018, he solved the great Demetrius Johnson to become the UFC flyweight champion. But for Cejudo, there is still work to be done. To that end, he chases a UFC belt in a second division tonight. The man in his way, Magic Marlon Moraes, believes he will provide Cejudo with a challenge unlike anything he has ever seen before. Thrilled to welcome in my broadcast partners, the great Joe Rogan, the also great UFC heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. When TJ Dillashaw unceremoniously relinquished this title, we knew we were going to get two deserving athletes to fight for the vacant belt. That is exactly what we have tonight.
We have an amazing matchup in the main event. I mean, Henry Cejudo is a special talent, a special man with a special kind of drive, but Marlon Moraes has no weaknesses. He's a spectacular striker. He's got amazing submissions ability. This is an amazing fight.
I mean, it's unbelievable, but a lot of people are calling the fight between Cerrone and Ferguson the people's main event because it does not get no better. But if a champion has to relinquish a title, you want to put together a championship fight like we have tonight.
All right, DC, let's stay with you on your former Olympic teammate, Henry Cejudo. When he fought for the UFC belt for the first time, he was just a wrestler. Tonight, he's chasing that pound-for-pound status.
I have seen Henry Cejudo do things that are truly unbelievable. From being last in the World Championships to the Olympic champ the next year, losing to DJ in a minute the first time. A couple years later, he beats him. Then knocking out TJ Dillashaw. I know his shtick is a little crazy, but Henry Cejudo is the real deal. Just a fantastic athlete, hard-working, takes a lot of pride in his approach to being one of the greatest combat athletes of all time.
His opponent, Marlon Moraes, is one of those guys that I used to watch fight in other organizations, and I would say, does this guy look so good because he's fighting low-level talent? And what happens when he gets into the UFC? Well, we got that answer. He has been sensational. Only lost to Rafael Assunção, but then came back and submitted him, which is perhaps even more incredible. Knocked out Aljamain Sterling, knocked out Jimmy Rivera, has spectacular striking and world-class submission skills.
This was the first time these two fighters went toe-to-toe, April 12th earlier this year, and this was the scene at the ceremonial weigh-in just a day ago. These fighter odds brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. You see Magic Marlon Moraes. Prices inflated a little bit, a -160 betting favorite here tonight. All right, co-headliner, Valentina Shevchenko, the gold standard in the women's flyweight division. She has set that bar pretty high tonight. She draws Jessica Eye.
She is as good as any fighter in any division, male or female. She is incredibly well-rounded, very physically strong, has some of the best spinning techniques in all of MMA, has great submissions, even off her back, submitted Juliana Pena. I mean, she's a physical beast, incredibly strong, and lives to fight. She is an incredible warrior and a true champion, and one of the best in any division.
Valentina Shevchenko is special, but her opponent, Jessica Eye, was long considered the best flyweight in the world. There just wasn't a division in the UFC. Since going back down to her more natural weight class, she's undefeated. She has shared the octagon with some of the greatest fighters in the world and feels that if this division was around before, she would already have been a UFC champ. Valentina is so good, but tonight, she may be fighting the most tough fighter in this whole division, just gritty, in Jessica Eye.
And Jessica Eye, Joe, one of the more improbable recent title challengers we have had. All it takes, though, is one shot, and she thinks she's ready to deliver it tonight.
She's so game and so tough, and she has excellent boxing skill. And Valentina gets into some wars. This is going to be a lot of fun.
This whole night's going to be a lot of fun. You can argue this is the deepest pay-per-view we have had thus far in 2019. It is UFC 238. Here's a look at what else is coming up. The rest of the card is brought to you by Motel 6. When you need a rest, check into Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you. I mean, how good is this, folks? California's Tony Ferguson won the UFC interim lightweight title back in 2017, but injuries and circumstance have limited him to just one fight since. Tonight, with his double-digit winning streak still firmly intact, he will try to extend it against a man with more UFC wins than anyone. Perennial contender, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. His hunger for a world title has never been more insatiable, and tonight, Cerrone will look to stamp himself the unquestioned #1 contender at 155 pounds. Also high stakes at bantamweight tonight, where Jimmy Rivera remains entrenched in the top 10. He is 6-2 in the UFC, and will try to produce tonight as a fairly significant betting underdog against the talented Russian boxer Petr Yan. Yan was among the sport's breakout stars in 2018, and tonight he aims to move to 5-0 in the UFC, all within his first calendar year with the MMA league. These locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Well, they don't come much more charismatic than the pride of New South Wales, heavyweight contender Tai Tuivasa. After earning his first UFC main event slot last December, the Aussie will try to build on that experience tonight as he draws Bulgaria's Blago Ivanov. Back in 2008, he beat Fedor Emelianenko en route to gold at the World Sambo Championships. Now, he goes for back-to-back Octagon wins here in 2019. All right, let's get to the rules of the Octagon. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds, but for championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, except in the case of a 10-10 round, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression, and then octagon control in that order. All right, one final note before we get going. The Illinois Athletic Commission does employ the newer set of unified rules for mixed martial arts. We will also have the limited use of instant replay tonight. That is only to look at a fight-ending sequence, though, so once replay is used, that particular fight cannot be restarted. Tonight's crowd shots are brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. With that backdrop, we are ready to go. The main card for UFC 238 from Chicago. Australian power hitter Tai Tuivasa specializes in the art of the first-round knockout, but he enters this fight in the shape of his life as he gets ready to tackle Bulgaria's Blagoy Ivanov. Two big men hoping to crash the heavyweight top 10 and kickstart a title run. Australia's Tai Tuivasa and Bulgaria's Blagoy Ivanov have come a long way to chase their goals. Tonight, they've got 15 minutes or fewer to make their case that they're primed and ready.
The heavyweight division should fear me because I don't give a and I'll fight anyone.
So yeah, Tai Tuivasa, he's never fought a guy like me, and I'm prepared everywhere and I'm ready for him.
One of the UFC's breakout stars of 2018, the colorful Tai Tuivasa added 2 more wins to his octagon ledger last year. And while a loss to former champ Junior Dos Santos momentarily stopped his rise, Bam Bam is charging full speed ahead into his first bout of 2019 here in Chicago.
I'm gonna beat Blagoy because I've had probably the best camp I've had. I feel good, and I lost my last fight, so I ain't gonna lose again. He's gonna have to kill me in there.
Fight fans waited a long time to see Blagoy Ivanov in the octagon. And when Baga finally arrived in 2018, they weren't disappointed. He went 5 hard rounds with Junior Dos Santos before spoiling the comeback of Ben Rothwell earlier this year. Now, he expects to push Tai Tuivasa to the limit.
So yeah, I have the motivation, I feel good, I feel ready for the fight.
All right, so here he is, the number 13 ranked heavyweight in the world, Blagoy Ivanov. Crazy story, Joe. When he was 7-0 in 2012, he and his friends were attacked in a bar. He was stabbed in the heart, near the heart, needed life-saving medical intervention, critical care for several weeks. Had like a 2-year layoff at that point in time. Remarkable to see him get back on the horse, and here he is in the greatest show in the game.
Yeah, it was really a horrific story, and he's got the scars to prove it. It's just a huge tragedy, but he did recover, and here he is now. He's a top fighter. He's got absolute skills in sambo, good striking. You know, you saw him against Ben Rothwell, and he had a good account of himself also against Junior Dos Santos. And he will be tested tonight. He'll be tested tonight by the 26-year-old Tai Tuivasa, because that man is a savage.
I was actually sparring, about that story on Blagoy. He was in a coma, I think. And when he woke up, he said, "I'm gonna fight again." That was his first thing. He wanted to know. He wanted to let everyone know he was gonna fight again. I sparred Blagoy like last week or 2 weeks ago. He hit me with the nastiest headlock, Joe. I hung my head up on his shoulder. Dude hit a headlock. Now, I'm not saying it was... John, talk about that.
He got you. He got you. All right, these fighter odds brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Late money coming in on Ivanov, still a plus 115 underdog against the soon-to-arrive Tuivasa.
Hilarious that a man so savage has such a tender walkout song.
Well, fans have gravitated to Tai Tuivasa for more reasons than one, as charismatic a personality as we have in this heavyweight division. But also, DC, as you have said, this is a hell of a boxer.
Oh, man, he's got fantastic boxing technique. He's very fast. You look at him and he's like a big guy, but he's very fast with his hands. He's got great technical skills, and his toughness is what really does lead the dance forward. Now, in the Junior Dos Santos, he's very disappointed in himself. He had JDS hurt very bad, but got ahead of himself and got finished. He said he's done a lot of things differently. Very, very small physically looks in the best condition we've ever seen him.
Well, he's only 26 years old, and he's learning as he grows in this game.
Right.
So a fight with a guy who's a real veteran and a former world champion like Junior Dos Santos was a learning experience for him. But what this guy brings to the table is pure savagery. There's a lot of guys who say they don't give an F. This guy really doesn't. There's none. There's none to give. He doesn't have one.
Joe, we had a moment with this dude on Thursday, and he was making jokes, he was laughing, and he said something about the shoey thing he does. And he said, someone in the room said, spitting in the beer is a little too nasty. And then somebody goes, may as well spit in my face. Ty goes, spit in my beer, you're okay. But if you spit in my face, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
And he just like, stone face. It was no more laughing and joking. Spit in the beer, okay, whatever. But if you spit in my face, I'll kill you. And it looked in that moment like he was serious.
Yo, he's serious as hell. That guy loves to fight too, and he loves it. He cherishes it. You can see when he's in the middle of a heavy firefight, he lives for this. This guy is a very unusual person, and it's one of the reasons why people find him so attractive. Because look at him, he's singing, he's loose, he's relaxed, and when he gets in there, man, it will be war. Lugoy better be prepared.
Not quite as loose physically as we've seen him in the past. His last training camp, he began at 322 pounds. This time around 290. So a lot of things have clicked for Tuivasa in terms of the strength and conditioning. Believes he will put forth his best performance tonight against Blagoy Ivanov. All right, this Tale to Tape is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Tuivasa still just 26, Ivanov is 32. Tuivasa the taller man by 3 inches. And notice he came in well below the 266-pound limit. 259 for Tuivasa, who will have a 2-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions. To get the main card started, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, for UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes, presented by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 17 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 251 pounds. Fighting out of Sofia, Bulgaria, Blagoy Ivanov. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a street fighter holding a professional record, 10 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 259 pounds. Fighting out of Western Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Mergliata.
Dan Mergliata charged with this assignment here. Brittany Palmer, thank you very much. Ready to go with the heavyweights to kick off this most anticipated main card tonight.
All right, you ready, sir? All right, you ready now?
Ty Tuivasa. Back for more against Blagoy Ivanov. The fight clock brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Ivanov out of the southpaw stance in red. Tuivasa, the orthodox fighter, is in black.
I was sparring with Blagoy the other day, and his cardio felt better. He looks a little smaller. I mean, he seemed ready to go, but he's got his hands full with Tuivasa, who, as we said on the walkout, is just a phenomenal boxer.
And also a very good athlete. We saw what he did to Rashad Coulter in 2017. Knocked him down with a leg kick, followed up with a flying knee. You don't see a lot of those in the heavyweight division.
Tuivasa very aggressive. Looking to find openings.
That's a really good punch from Blagoy. Because he's a southpaw, he goes to the body with that straight left hand as opposed to just headhunting. He's really good at that.
Tuivasa looking for a straight right. Landed that good right low leg kick.
And that's where you see the advantage of these big guys like Tuivasa. They just lean on you, make you carry all their weight. But if he's not careful, he will get hit with that headlock. Judo throw, sambo throw.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. Short elbow from Tai Tuivasa. Nearly landed an elbow in the clinch against Junior Dos Santos last December that might have closed the show.
Another good elbow. Tuivasa is a gritty fighter. He fights rough.
Tuivasa's got to be really careful here. If he's not careful, he'll get thrown. Tuivasa's doing a good job of controlling the level of the exchange with his head position. Keeping Bagoy tall, making him drive all of his weight into him.
Oh, he tagged him with the right.
Bagoy even on drops Tuivasa.
Big counter right hand.
We're looking for the neck. He's got the neck.
And fighting now for Tuivasa.
Tuivasa gets his head out of there, but let's see how hurt he is. Big right hand. Let's see how stunned he is, if he's gotten his legs back.
Still 2 minutes and change to go here, round one.
That's the thing about Bagoy. He's very powerful and close. So as Tuivasa enters, he needs to be careful.
There, he's got his neck again. Oh, man. It looks like the head's almost out, though. Oh, look, he's trying to, yeah, he popped it out.
6 career wins by submission for Blagoy Ivanov.
Good right hand over the top by Tuivasa and a left. Oh, they're exchanging here. Tuivasa lets you get that forearm under the neck and stretch you out.
Grab that kick.
He does a real good job of controlling your posture. He keeps you long and, like you said, stretched out, allowing him to try to throw knees and punches to the body.
Good punch again on the break. Nice step-in knee by Tuivasa.
Tuivasa's far more active than Bagoy right now.
Ivanov tried to catch him with the right hand on the way in, just missed. Under a minute now to go, round one. Ivanov backs Tuivasa up with a straight left.
Beautiful low kick, but he got stunned with that left.
And that drew an acknowledgement from Tuivasa. 30 seconds now to go in the round.
Ivanov's looking for that right hook. By Tuivasa. There's that right hand again. Man, it's heating up. Oh,
good straight left.
How about the heavyweights in round one? Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Try the new 28-ounce berry lemonade flavor exclusively at 7-Eleven.
Listen.
Breathe. Just breathe. You need to relax, brother. No. Ty. Okay? Don't throw with him. Respect his punch, all right? You need to take your time.
Short elbows, they're landing.
Take your time. Don't rush.
Here we see the punch that hurt him. It caught him right behind the ear. A right hook by Bagoy. See it right there? And that was a big weapon for him in that first round. There's a nice straight left as well, but Ty was moving back on that one. There's a beautiful straight left, caught him right on the chin. Some good shots from both men. There's another one.
So when Stevie Ashby, DC, says to Tai Tuivasa, respect his punch, does that just mean raise the guard? What does that mean?
Yeah, he just feels like he's not respecting the power of Burgoyne, right? Just walking into range and just getting hit with shots that he doesn't believe he should be getting hit with. So just respect him enough to use your defense, right? Don't disregard the man in the octagon with you. Because anybody can put your lights out, especially at heavyweight.
It'll be interesting to talk to Tuivasa after the fight, win or lose, to see how he has felt carrying essentially 20 fewer pounds on fight night.
He caught him with the right hand there in that break. He's doing a good job with that inside leg kick as well.
Yes, he's changing it up now. He's changing it up. He's starting to beat that inside leg of Burgoyne. Oh, nice 1-2.
He hurt him. Burgoyne's in trouble.
On wobbly legs, early round 2.
He hurt him bad. Burgoyne needs to hold here. Trying to get his bearings about himself. Tai needs to get back at range. That all started with Tai just banging that inside leg, getting the attention low, and then going high.
Nice elbow out of the break by Tuivasa.
Burgoyne still looks a little wobbly to me. Oof.
Both fighters land there.
Tuivasa's faster.
Yeah,
he's a lot faster than Burgoyne.
Serious hand speed. He's got a weird way of moving too, very deceptive, wobbly a little bit, and then he explodes on you.
Well, he's throwing that inside kick, right? So he feints as if he's going inside kick and he's punching. He wants Burgoyne's hands to kind of think he's kicking at the leg.
Tuivasa has spent parts of past training camps at Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand, stayed home this time around, spent a lot of time on the Gold Coast. Man, that left hand.
It's landing. Both of these guys are landing. It shows you the toughness of these big competitors.
Some big deep breaths now from Tai Tuivasa. Cut on the bridge of the nose of Blago Ivanov. And again, he sticks the jab in Tuivasa's face.
Ivanov for the 1-2.
Those are big strikes. Tuivasa seems to be tiring a little bit.
Nearly twice as much pro MMA experience for Blago Ivanov. That speaks nothing of his combat sambo accolades. Ivanov fought Alir Latifi in 2008. No contest, the ring broke.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, some of the stuff you know, John. I mean, he can't miss with that left hand. But that's the moneymaker for Tai.
There's a nice elbow by Tai.
Tai's trying to catch him with that elbow coming in.
Oh, jeez, he got caught.
Nice elbow by Burgoyne.
Tuivasa changing up the stance here. Oh!
Whoever wins this fight is going to have to be super tough because they're both landing, both having to take massive strikes. Who's going to be able to carry that into round 3?
Yeah, this fight is largely taking place in the center of the octagon with these guys banging each other.
And you hear the crowd react every time they come together because they understand the power that these guys are striking with.
Nice jab from Ivanov.
I mean, he's being so successful with the jab, I would just continue to throw the jab.
Tuivasa had a big moment early round 2, but Ivanov has started to pull away late in the round.
Ivanov once again looking for the head.
Trying to pull him down front headlock, make him carry.
He switched hands. He switched hands and
now he's trying to
the left.
guillotine.
He's trying that guillotine. Oh, he's got his neck.
Well, the crowd saw the tap. It came well after the horn. We will get to the third round in a moment. UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes is presented by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Keep punches, distance. You've got one kick in there. You got it?
Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. Punches nice and relaxed, but you got to be the pressure guy. Keep moving that head.
In and out. Stay in and out. Catch your breath right now. In and out. When you miss, it takes a lot out of him. You got to make him miss. 3 breaths. You got to make him miss, champ. 1. Breathe, baby, breathe.
Stay relaxed and keep moving that head. Stay relaxed, keep moving that head. You got to keep punching. You got to want it more than he does.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's listen back to the end of that round and the choke.
He did hold it. He held it for at least a second or so longer, but...
Well, just to take, he's taking advantage of just being in that type of position. He didn't tap. He didn't tap, but Bagoy should have let the submission go maybe a second earlier. But, I mean, hey, dude's trying to wear him down, I guess.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that got Husamal Parharas kicked out of the UFC.
But heel hooks, though, right? You have to blow a guy's knee out.
It is a different. Oh.
And you're doing that.
Yeah. But holding on to anything after the bell.
Javier Mendez said to Bagoy that he's got to be the pressure guy. I think it's good advice. Continue to try to apply pressure to Tuivasa.
Oh, yeah, just told him, hey, you've got to want it more than this guy. It's a good, close fight.
Tuivasa's had some good success with that inside leg kick in this round. There's a nice right hand. Oh, he staggered him a bit there.
This round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
Just the strikes that these guys have absorbed over the course of this fight is amazing. 2 really big guys, 250-pound guys, taking each other's shots very clean.
Let's go. Groin strike from Ivanov, but Dan Murgliata didn't see it, so they fight on. Nice fight for the underhook by Tuivasa.
Oh, man, Tuivasa's doing a fantastic job of controlling the underhooks.
There's the neck again.
Yeah, he put himself right back in there. Oh, now there's a lot of time on the clock.
He's got that neck. Nope, he lost it, but he's got his back.
Tuivasa needs to scrape with the underhook. There he is. He's done that. Now he's got to circle to the underhook to get away. It's up to Bagoy to try to keep the underhook raised and drive his right knee through the middle. That'll keep Tuivasa up against the fence. Being square gets your knee in the belly, though.
Grueling clinch work from the heavyweights here in our final round, under 3 minutes to go.
I'm surprised that when Tuivasa got on the outside, he didn't try to disengage. Right. But that might just be fatigue.
Yeah, he's tired. He's taking a lot of damage. Both of them have had their moments. Both guys a little bit tired. Oh, nice combination on the break there.
Man, who's winning this fight?
I have no idea.
I mean, DC's got a half teammate here, right? You got a partial teammate.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking at it objectively,
it's a who knows.
1-1 maybe.
Yeah.
It's a very, very close fight because does the knockdown of Bagoy in round 1 just win the round? Does Tuivasa rocking him just win the round? No, you don't know.
Numbers very even. Just 1 strike the differential in terms of significant strikes landed. Under 2 now to go.
When you're looking for some sort of advantage, at least Bagoy is controlling these clinch scenarios. Oh, now Tuivasa's out swinging.
I think Tuivasa that's some missed opportunities. Look, he's hurt him. Bagoy's limping now on that inside leg. Look how he's walking gingerly on that leg. I think Tuivasa should have been kicking the inside leg more.
Pretty good counter left from Ivanov after Tuivasa had landed.
Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I like that inside leg kick. He's using it with great effectiveness. Blagoy's leg is in real trouble. Even when he's punching, it's giving out on him.
This is a really close fight.
That left hand has been a consistent weapon for Ivanov tonight.
Imagine if bantamweights fought like this. You'd be like, what's wrong with them?
Blagoy has not checked one of these inside kicks.
Yeah. And they're punishing. And they're sending his leg flying every time.
But I mean, just toughness, both of these guys standing in the middle of the octagon, just trade leather. Heavyweights that can end the fight with one punch just stood in the middle on a quarter and fought.
And this is a big fight town, and this crowd appreciating the bravery. Ivanov trying to end with a flurry here. Well, to the surprise of some, I would think, Blagoy Ivanov and Tai Tuivasa go the distance. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
And here's the punch that dropped him, caught him right behind the ear, sent him to the canvas. Probably the most significant punch of the fight, other than the one that Tuivasa landed that stunned him. There it is right there. Really rocked him, had him wobbled. Those inside leg kicks by Tuivasa were a big factor. But here's Blagoy with a 1-2. Here you see it again, Blagoy with a nice left hand to the chin.
These fighter stats brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. Total strikes, advantage Ivanov. The leg kicks, a big part of the narrative on the Tuivasa side. The one knockdown for Ivanov early and 2 for 2 on his takedown attempts tonight. Just 7 seconds, though, of top position time for Blagoy Ivanov. So they came in number 11, number 13, respectively, in the heavyweight division. We will see what the judges saw. This official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. With those scorecards now, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 30-27, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Blagoy Ivanov.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Blagoy Ivanov. First of all, congratulations on a fight with a very, very tough guy. This was a fight where you both exchanged some heavy shots. Was this what you expected coming into this fight?
He's a very tough guy. Yeah, I watch all his fights, and now know he's good to stand up.
There was also some moments where you were attempting some submissions. Were you surprised at all that he was able to get out of those?
He doesn't help me, but I felt I can submit him.
Well, this was a very tough fight. Congratulations on your victory, and we look forward to seeing you again.
I want to say something. Искам да благодаря на всички българи, които са тук, за подкрепата. Това го правя за вас и за България. Благодаря ви.
Can you translate that?
I want to thank the Bulgarians here in the building. I do this for them and for my country, Bulgaria.
Congratulations, sir. Blagoy Ivanov, ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of Bulgarian flags, DC, in the building here tonight. That's a big win for Blagoy Ivanov. 7 of 8 now overall for the Bulgarian.
That's a massive win for Blagoy. He did a fantastic job in a very, very difficult fight. Got the job won, got the job done, and will probably be right around the top 10 next week.
And will probably be sore tomorrow. A couple of the UFC's finest, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, the former UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman, And the Chicago Bears well represented here at United Center tonight. Among them, top 10 pick a year ago, linebacker Roquan Smith. These Fighter Odds brought to you by PokerStars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars. Now, not all that long ago, Jimmy Rivera had won 20 consecutive fights. Tonight, though, he plays the role of betting underdog for the first time since 2015. He'll look to remain in contention by halting the momentum of the oncoming Russian boxer Petr Yan. He's taken this division by storm since his debut less than a year ago tonight. He can move to 5-0 in the octagon with a next-level win over Rivera. UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes is brought to you by Modelo Especial. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. And by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
He's beaten the best of the best that they put in front of him.
Who's in the division that can challenge John Jones? Thiago Santos comes to mind.
If Santos connects, it's dangerous. He could connect on John.
I would love to see him versus Jones. That's the fight to make.
John Jones is the highest level of mixed martial arts talent we have ever seen.
I'm the greatest of all time. I'm here. Come get a taste.
Thiago Santos.
He has absolutely thunderous knockout power.
This man is a savage.
She knocked out Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg.
The greatest women's mixed martial artist of all time.
Holly Holm is an 18-time world boxing champion.
One of the truly all-time great resumes in all of martial arts. How about it? UFC 239, just 4 short weeks away. July 6th in Vegas, the main event. Light heavyweight champion John Jones chasing further all-time greatness against the powerful Thiago Maheta Santos, Amanda Nunes, and Holly Holm. Gamebred Jorge Masvidal taking on Ben Askren, and a whole lot more. But the last man, Joe Rogan, to make the walk, perhaps the greatest to ever do it, Johnny Bones.
Without a doubt, the greatest light heavyweight of all time. No disrespect to my man right next to me. But he's facing a guy in Thiago Santos that is a real wrecking machine and reckless. And one of the things that's exciting about this fight is Thiago Santos will put himself in the line of fire. Right. He does not play safe, and he has thunderous knockout power. He is a warrior, and he will go in there against a man who is absolutely the favorite of the fight, but he will come in swinging.
And DC and the co-headliner, Holly Holm, will try to stop the train that is Amanda Nunes.
I mean, Amanda Nunes has been on a run like we've never seen in the UFC. Some of the people that she has beaten is truly phenomenal. But Holly Holm is up to the challenge. One of the more diverse strikers we have in the UFC. She's an 18-time boxing champion. But if you look at her highlights, she's kicking people in the head to win these fights. This is a phenomenal fight between two of the best mixed martial artists female mixed martial arts has ever seen.
And you can see it on pay-per-view July 6th. How about this prelim lineup for UFC 239? These fights also going down on July 6th. The featured bout, El Nino Gilbert Melendez at featherweight against the oncoming Arnold Allen. The Sugar Show is back. Sean O'Malley against Chito Vera, Claudia Gadelha, and Randa Marcos. And Alejandro Perez taking on the young talent Song Yadong. Tonight's crowd shots are brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. All right, back to the live action now. Huge night for the present and future of the bantamweight division. Well, Petr Yan has sights set on getting a world title shot as he can vanquish contender Jimmy Rivera tonight. No mercy, may just get his wish, and sooner rather than later. They have arrived at their Chicago showdown from decidedly different directions. But for bantamweight hopefuls, Jimmy Rivera and Petr Yan, the ultimate goal is the same. And the only thing that matters is what's in front of them tonight.
Это большой шанс для меня сегодня одержать победу над Джимми Риверой. И это очередная ступень к титульному бою.
My goal is to be UFC champion, and tonight I have to put on a show and show the fans and show the UFC that I could do that.
It took nearly 20 fights for Jimmy Rivera to get his shot in the UFC, but since getting here, he has taken on all challenges against the best of the best at 135 pounds. Tonight, New Jersey's El Terror keeps that fearless reputation intact as he meets rising Russian star Pyotr Yan.
Джимми стилистически удобный для меня соперник. Он любит идти вперед, идти в размен. Это то, что мне нравится.
In the midst of a rapid rise through the UFC's bantamweight division, Pyotr Yan has been calling for the elite since his debut in 2018. And after proving he was ready with a win over John Dodson back in February, no mercy, gets to test himself against another top contender in Jimmy Rivera.
Peter's seen as a rising star, and why Peter's wrong that he can make a name off of me is because I've been in there, I've done it, I've been in his shoes, and I'm gonna go in there and show the world how to stop Peter Yan.
He is one of the best pure boxers on this UFC roster. Pyotr Yan making the walk for his 5th UFC appearance. Megan O'Leary, we had a lot of new elite talent emerge in 2018. Chief among them, Israel Adesanya, and of course the Russian Pyotr Yan.
Yeah, you mentioned he is Russian, he lives in Russia. However, he does his camps in Thailand, and he has done 5 camps in less than 12 months. So a big motivator for him right now is the fact that he spent well over half a year away from his wife and his son. He wants that time to have paid off, and he truly believes that he can put on, you know, a boxing clinic here against Jimmy Rivera. He is a master of sport in boxing, which he likened to a black belt. And he said, Jimmy Rivera, yeah, he's a good boxer, but he's about a purple belt here. He is truly confident in the power and skill in his hands here.
Joe Rogan, 7 straight wins for Pyotr Yan, only 1 pro loss, which he has avenged. Over 70 amateur boxing matchups, or matches, I should say. This man's got some serious hands.
He certainly does, and I was incredibly impressed by him, particularly in the John Dodson fight, because we know how good John Dodson is. He's got outstanding punching power, but more importantly, technique, footwork, movement, placement. He's got IQ. His fight IQ is very high. He knows how to put his chin on your face. And he is a man that is on his way towards a title shot. The man in front of him, Jimmy Rivera, would love to stop this train.
After we talked to Peter the other day, he said, I believe with a win, he should be the #1 contender in this division. I understand it's fast, but it doesn't matter. He respects Jimmy, thinks he's good, but not special at any one thing, and that'll be a problem for him.
So here's the longtime Tiger Showman rep, Jimmy Rivera. He's really excited for this matchup. It has got him up. His mental and physical toughness figures to be tested here tonight. A little hesitant in his last fight. Prevailing wisdom is Joey's got to go for it here tonight.
Well, he lost a decision to the very unorthodox Aljamain Sterling, who we saw earlier tonight. Aljamain's an outstanding fighter, and with losses, you learn. And this is a young man that's on his way, in his eyes, towards a title, towards greatness. And without losses, without learning, it's very difficult to get all you need when you do get to the final ultimate challenge. What he is a tank of a man. He's very, very physically strong, super tough. He's got great leg kicks. He doesn't have any one thing that stands out as being his best skill. He's very good at everything. Not particularly a submission artist, but when it comes to his striking, he's very well versed in both Muay Thai and boxing, mixes it up well, well coached.
You know, when Jimmy Rivera talked about the Aljamain Sterling fight, he said he was in there, but he didn't feel his soul was in there with him. That's why he was so reserved. So he's really taken an approach to meditate every night, put himself in this fight with Peter every single night, so that when he's in here, he's experienced it. He understands what's at stake, and he's done it before. So he will try to use all those mental gaps that he's filled in to lead him to a victory in a fight that he's minus minus 250?
Jimmy Rivera's plus 270.
Who's plus 270 over Jimmy Rivera?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how good Jimmy Rivera has been. he thinks the mental gap that he's filled will help him get a victory.
And he likes fighting guys who come forward. Petr Yan is certainly that. Feels like he has the wrestling and the grappling advantage. That said, Rivera said he is focused on striking tonight against Petr Yan. All right, this tail of the tape is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Jimmy Rivera still on the right side of 30. Petr Yan is 26, Yan the taller man by 3.5 inches, but Jimmy Rivera will have a reach advantage of 1.5 inches. All right, here now some more from Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a boxer holding a professional record, 12 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 7 and 1/2 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Yekaterinburg, Russia, presenting the number 9 ranked bantamweight contender in the world, Petr No Mercy Yan. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 22 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Ramsey, New Jersey, presenting the number 7 ranked bantamweight contender in the world, Jimmy El Terror Rivera. When the action begins, our referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald, a busy man tonight. Vanessa Hansen, thank you, V. Getting us started for round 1 of a possible 3 on what is moving night in the UFC's bantamweight division. Jimmy Rivera, number 7 in the world at present.
Ready to fight? Let's go!
Taking on the 9th ranked Petr Yan. Tonight's fight clock brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Rivera is in black. Petr Yan wearing that Russian red.
Jimmy Rivera is a big fan of that low leg kick to the calf. Look for him to try to use that, and there he goes right away. Try to slow down, and Petr gives it right back to him.
Rivera compared this to his Pedro Munoz matchup in 2015, a fight he won. Saw a lot of similarity stylistically between those 2 opponents.
He feels Yan is going to give him the type of fight that he wants. Forward pressure, be there to be hit, but feels he has a massive advantage in the wrestling and the grappling.
There's that low kick. Yeah, he used that very well against Uriah Faber, particularly.
Nice right hand out of the break for Rivera. Yan has been a huge betting favorite every step of the way in his UFC career. He ate a big right hand there.
And he also ate another one of those low leg kicks. Those will take the movement away from your leg like nothing else because they kill the nerve. Like it slams in there, it makes everything numb. Your feet just don't work that well. You see it sometimes with just one strike.
Right.
You saw it with Henry Cejudo in the second fight with DJ. His leg for a moment was paralyzed.
Well, Yan's overextending himself on his right hand every time. That's why Rivera's grabbing him so easily. He's trying to throw that big overhand right, and he's just overextending. His head's going over his feet. He needs to try to keep his base if he wants to land that.
Yan will switch stances frequently, operating out of the orthodox stance here early on in this one.
Rivera slid out of the way of that shot.
Jimmy's doing a real good job moving his head.
Ooh, hurt him with that inside leg kick.
Rivera looked sharp early, said his last sparring session was just outstanding, gave him a lot of confidence coming in.
And again with that low kick,
he's been very successful. Many of those.
And here's the clinch. Let's see what he does with this. He's chewing on those legs. Good uppercut in there by Jimmy.
Jimmy's looking really good right now.
He's looking very sharp. I think he recognizes that this is a very, very important moment in his career.
Yeah.
The loss to Aljamain Sterling, being KO'd by Moraes, this is huge for him.
And I just think he's given Jan so many things to think about that Piotr hasn't really figured out how he's going to approach this fight. He's given him so many different things right now.
And he's not particularly, he's not standing in front of him. He's constantly moving, he's avoiding these big shots.
He's already countered him, he's already kicked, he's already shot for a takedown. It's just a full arsenal of things that he's shown Piotr.
And he's moving very fast. I like his speed. His speed of foot. He's also being very unpredictable, like that movement right there. Very nice. Good angles.
Yep.
I think it's easy to look past, you know, some of the things that Jimmy Rivera has done because of those last 2 fights. But anytime a man wins 20 fights in a row,
right?
You know, the guy knows how to really fight at the highest level.
22-3 overall. He'll be 30 in 3 weeks. But if he is ever to realize a UFC title shot, to Joe's point tonight, is one he absolutely has to have.
Piotr with a nice body kick there. Oh, look at this. Piotr goes for the takedown. Got a leg. Trying to tie it up. Jimmy's rolling with him. Very nice scramble. Very nice scramble.
Yes.
Jimmy's got his head.
Very nice scramble by Rivera.
There's that left from Young! Oh, Rivera trying to survive to see the end of this round.
Rivera's in big trouble, and he just took one on the chin again. And now he's stuck in a head and arm position.
Wow.
That was slick.
That won him the round.
Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Try the new 28-ounce berry lemonade flavor exclusively at 7-Eleven.
You won the whole round except for the end, right? So you gave it to him at the end. You're being a little too excited. Calm down, because you're better than him. You're being too excited, like you're worried about him coming in. Fight with him, punch with him. Punch with him, you'll knock him down, okay? Okay. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Good, feel good. I just,
yeah. Just relax a little bit and throw your hands. Throw that bomb down the middle. Throw the left hook to the body. Throw the kicks. You're messing him up, but you got to aim your shots at his neck. Aim a little lower. Okay?
I mean, Piotr was missing with that overhand right, but this time he just faded off and threw the left hook. So he anticipated the miss with the right hand, knowing that Rivera was circling in the direction of the left hook. I mean, and he's a very educated striker, so maybe that was the trap he was setting all fight. I don't know, but great technique by Piotr Jan.
UFC 238, Joe Cejudo versus Moraes, presented by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
He caught him flat in front of him as well. He caught him with both feet. And let's see how tentative Jimmy is after getting dropped like that. That was a big shot, and he got tagged again by the left hand. And Piotr switching stances a little bit as well. Oh, Jimmy hurt him. Jimmy hurt him.
John Dodson did catch Jan with a huge left hand in their fight in round 2. Jan came on to dominate round 3.
That is their common opponent. Both men beat Dodson.
Piotr Jan's left hand is something to behold. It's jab, body shot, left hook. He's really confident with that left hand.
Yeah, Jimmy talked about it on Thursday.
And he really sets down on his punches.
Ooh, he heard him. He heard him. Yep, there it is.
And now Jimmy Rivera nicely attacks the other leg.
Oh yeah, that leg's toast. That left leg is toast. It's not moving yet. Look at it. He's having a hard time even standing on it.
That's why he's trying to jump on it. He tried to bounce on it to wake it up.
It's coming back. It's coming back. But it's one of those things where when you get nailed with it, for a brief moment, you are vulnerable.
I mean, Rivera kicks so fast.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. Coming up on 3 minutes here to go round 2. Rivera dropped down just out of range with that right hand. Little cut underneath the right eye of Jimmy Rivera.
Oh, good kick to the body.
Jan southpaw now protecting that left leg and then throws it.
Another big kick to the body.
Cannot take too many of those.
And Jimmy tagged him with the right hand there. Again, good shots by Rivera. He's getting off in this round.
Rivera's fighting really well again.
All right, let's bring in Danny Tiger Schulman in the corner of Jimmy Rivera.
Right at him, baby, right at him.
You going, Jim,
You win the round, you win the round, go.
The low 2, baby.
Show him who you are, baby, get tough.
There you go, again. It's established now, work off of it.
Jimmy, he wants to look for the uppercut.
2
Go,
minutes.
boom.
2
Go.
minutes.
2, baby. 2 minutes. Yes, punch off of there. Go back to the low kick.
Schulman brothers still trying to break through and produce a UFC champion. A lot of talent. Jimmy Rivera, Shane Burgos, Julio Arce climbing the ladders.
That's another deep one. That one hurt him.
If he
immediately switched stances.
If he takes it a little bit lower, you'll see a big reaction from Jan. That one was a little bit more around the knee.
Oh, he hurt him with that right hand over the top.
Jimmy Rivera's fighting well.
He's got to be careful when he gets square again. When he gets up against the cage, that's where he got tagged before. Oh, he ate that one.
Yeah, but I think he cut him up pretty good. But he ate that kick.
Less than a minute to go round 2.
And just as you said, he gets trapped along the side of the octagon.
He takes
a big head kick. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he's cut bad.
Yeah, he got cut bad on that kick.
It's across the nose, it looks like. And then he shot. Look at that. Almost ate a kick.
Nice hands on both sides there. 30 seconds now to go in the round. Oh, big left from Jan. Rivera is wearing it, not leaking too bad though.
It's the same thing. He gets caught flat against the cage where he's standing square and he can't move backwards. Oh, he ate an uppercut.
Rivera goes down from the uppercut.
Oh, that was nasty. Oh, that was nasty.
He's in big trouble.
Not unlike round 1. Round 2 ends with a huge knockdown for the Russian.
Wow.
You're fighting beautiful, Jimmy.
Turn, Jimmy, sit.
Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Hey, you need a knockout. You need a knockout. So you know what you're gonna do this round? Let him win the fight with a knockout, but don't run. I want you to fucking knock this kid out in this round. You have 5 minutes left.
Body and head.
There's only one way to beat this kid. He's flinching like crazy when you throw. He's flinching like crazy. You have nothing wrong with you. Go in, fucking fight him straight on, and throw your hands. You'll win the fight.
Make him knock you out. Make him knock you out. You go for yours, baby.
Right here you see Peter Yan get Jimmy against the side of the octagon, feint the left hand, throw the head kick, hurts Jimmy Rivera, and from that point on in the round, he started just pursuing him. Look at that, he just waited for the reaction. Every time he was entering, he was going, so Rivera's trying to throw at the same time as him. So this time he went in there and he just kind of dipped the shoulder. When he dipped the shoulder, Jimmy thought he was entering, but he wasn't. Took his time, found his shot, uppercut, big shot by Yan.
Clearly 2 rounds down. Jimmy Rivera's, his corner telling him, let the guy knock you out.
Right.
But don't run from it.
Right.
I think that's crazy.
All right, round 3 brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. And if Petr Yan's body language is any indication, he is fresh as a daisy.
That's some old school mentality there, though. Don't run. If he's gonna beat you, make him knock you out. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But
Jimmy is fighting that way. I mean, he listens to his coach. Look at him. I mean, he is not taking a backward step. He's trying to kill him. He's got a hold of the leg.
Nice takedown defense from Jan.
Jan just has the ability to throw so many different things at you. He can throw that left kick from a southpaw position. The left hand is just brutal, conventional or southpaw. He's a very dangerous fighter.
Good straight left. I like that. I would like him to throw more of those kicks to the arms as well. Let him block them.
Right.
Just like it deads your leg, it deads your arms.
Again, there it is. You can't take too many of those. They will make your arm useless.
Yes.
All things considered, Rivera has really fought a good fight, especially as a 3-1 underdog. A couple knockdowns late in the rounds.
He fought very well, John, and it's just at the end of the round, he keeps getting dropped. Right? So the lasting impression from the judges is that he's losing.
Right.
But he's fighting a good fight, as you said.
And it's the same scenario. He's always getting caught against the cage. That cage, he's got to think that cage is a fire. Stay away from that. He's in the center, he's doing much better with his movement. Oh, nice uppercut, he hurt him. He hurt him with that uppercut.
Wait. You in? All right, let's go. Time
That was a very quick stoppage by the referee, you know?
Nice and quick.
Usually they let you kind of run around for a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
Under 3 minutes now to decide this one.
Oh,
nice body shot by Jimmy.
Yeah, beautiful.
Rivera swinging at air out of the break. That main event for Rivera against Marlon Moraes last June, still the only time he has been stopped as a pro. Showing off that toughness yet again tonight. Nice stick with a right by Rivera.
That was a good, clean right hand by Rivera.
In the open, though, Joe, if he's not against the side of the octagon, he actually is winning a lot of these exchanges.
Yes, he just gets out-moved. He gets outmaneuvered. And he gets put into a position where he knows, where Piotr knows that his movement is compromised because of the cage. It's limited. Oh, nice kick to the body there. But a good left to the body by Rivera.
Oh, nice.
Wild exchanges.
Jan just doesn't seem all that fazed by the power being thrown his way.
Rivera's abandoned those leg kicks that did him so well. And he's just trying to swing haymakers to knock him out. But it's too bad because that left leg is still compromised.
If he should still be bashing that leg.
Yes.
Every time Piotr goes conventional, he should be blasting leg kicks.
Stop.
I mean,
He got poked.
every time.
Over there.
Yes, every time.
Over here. Stop time.
Inadvertent eye poke right in front of the referee.
Take a look at me. Blink a couple of times, okay? Stand right here for me, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about that.
They're checking him out. Sometimes this stuff happens, all right? It's tires later on. Just keep those hands closed, all right? You good, Doc? We good? All right, stay right there. We good? All right, back up, back up. You good? All right, let's finish clean. Come on.
All right, under 90 seconds now to go.
Get off the cage, Jimmy.
I mean, these bantamweights have fought with so much urgency tonight. Every bantamweight fight has been great. Oh, my goodness. Because you understand that tonight can earn you that title shot.
Yes. I mean, there's so much movement in that division now that TJ was forced to relinquish the title.
Yeah, that has really expedited things for a lot of these guys as we show you the numbers. Significant strikes round by round, very evenly matched.
If you're a fan of technique and striking, you got to appreciate what Piotr's been able to do tonight. Just outmaneuver him, land the real significant shots that counted, and weather the storm when he got hit himself.
Right.
I mean, Jimmy Rivera's not giving it to him. Jan's taking it. Look at this.
Last submission win for Jimmy Rivera.
Nice tag him with the left hook. He just keeps only using the hands.
Watch the back of his head. Keep it clean.
Stop.
What a fight. Jimmy Rivera, Petr Yan go the distance here in Chicago.
Excellent fight.
What a great fight. Petr Yan isn't scary enough for all of his skill. His ability to take a shot is something to behold because he took some big shots today.
And Rivera can crack.
All right, this fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
There you see a nice jab from Rivera. And there's these low leg kicks. They really put Yan in a lot of trouble, but Rivera abandoned them in that final round. And here's the left hand that really got Jimmy in trouble early. And here's the head kick. Ba-boom. I mean, Jimmy Rivera can take a shot.
Man.
And here's the uppercut that really had him staggered. And one more time, the shot that knocked his mouthpiece out. Petr Yan really put on a show tonight against a dangerous and very fast challenger.
And he has really put on a show every step of the way since he made his UFC debut less than 365 days ago against Teruto Ishihara, Jin-Soo Sun, Douglas Silva de Andrade, and John Dodson. His previous UFC wins, none would be bigger than the one that he could secure tonight against Jimmy Rivera. The official decision brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. With the scorecards, here's Buff.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Petr No Mercy Yan.
I'm here with the winner, Petr Yan. First of all, sir, congratulations on an excellent performance. In just a little over a year inside the octagon, you have quickly moved to the top of the rankings.
Поздравляю с красивой победой. В течение 1 года ты очень быстро поднялся в рейтинге.
Hello, Chicago. Ha! I 12 months, 5 more fight. I'm very happy to stay here. I won fight. Next fight, title shot.
You had a very, very tough guy in front of you in Jimmy Rivera, and you hit him with gigantic shots. Were you surprised at his ability to absorb the punishment?
Ты победил очень жесткого соперника и попадал по нему очень сильно, но он все время вставал. Был ли ты удивлен, что он все время восстанавливался?
Yeah, I understand. Jimmy, strong fighter, good fighter. It's normal, bro. Translate, please.
Говори, ну ты на русском скажи.
Скажи, что я понимал, что он крепкий парень. Я просто шел вперед и делал свою работу, несмотря ни на что.
I knew he's a tough guy, but I was keep going forward and keep doing my job no matter what.
Now, tonight, the title will be decided in the bantamweight division. Give us your thoughts on how you feel that's going to go down.
Как считаешь, кто выиграет в бой за пояс?
Я надеюсь, что выиграет Марлон Мораес. Maybe Maraes win. I won't fight. No problem. Maraes, Cejudo. I won't fight. Title shot.
Well, congratulations, sir. We hope to see you in a title shot.
Хочу сказать спасибо моей команде. Архангел Михаил, Тайгер Муай Тай. Моим спонсорам по рематч. Висана. Также моей команде, кто со мной рядом здесь. Леха, Джордж, Фрэнк, Денис. Шон, Кобит, всем спасибо.
I just want to thank my team, thank my sponsor, and thank my guys who cornered me today.
Petr Yan, ladies and gentlemen.
Petr Yan maximizing the showcase here tonight as he disposes of the perennial contender Jimmy Rivera. These fighter stats brought to you by Poker Stars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars. And with 5 consecutive wins, Petr Yan is now the owner of the longest active winning streak in the UFC bantamweight division. All right, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Former UFC interim lightweight king Tony Ferguson wants us to stop talking about his surgically repaired knee, the one that did not prevent him from securing an 11th straight win last October against Anthony Pettis. Tonight, El Cucuy continues his quest for undisputed greatness against that man, the wildly popular Donald Cowboy Cerrone. He has most of the UFC records you would want. The UFC title, though, has eluded him. A win over Ferguson would make him hard to deny for a second championship opportunity. And Daniel Cormier, speaking of which, as we pull up the current top 5 at 155 pounds, we now know September 7th, the belts will be unified. Ferguson and Cerrone, though, certainly knocking on the door.
Yeah, these guys are both in position to challenge the winner of Nurmagomedov versus Poirier with a victory tonight. But when you look at this board, look at the depth of the 155-pound division. Anyone that looks at this board gets excited because you have guys like Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje are the only two in the top 5 that aren't matched up. I mean, we can do the job for you guys. Let's match them up and just make a tournament of all this.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here in Chicago, and for those of you watching around the world, we are happy to announce the final inductees to close out the esteemed class of 2019, including one of Illinois' own.
There's certain guys, when you match them up, there's no doubt in your mind that it's going to be a good fight, and this is one of those fights.
Everybody was excited about what this could potentially be.
June 20th, 2009. Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida.
You couldn't ask for two more psychotic dudes to fight each other.
Both of these guys are absolute maniacs.
Two guys who you knew were savages.
Oh, and they are yelling at each other. This is gonna get crazy. This is gonna get crazy.
Seeing those two guys just mean mugging each other, you know, that was absolutely epic.
Wow. I say it's a draw in the mean face contest.
Right there and then you knew what was about to happen.
You ready? You ready? Let's go war!
They run across the octagon and just start blasting each other.
Oh my God!
Swinging!
Oh my God!
Unbelievable start! No feeling out process whatsoever. Just absolute chaos from the jump.
Clay Guida got rocked!
Diego kept hitting him, uppercut, uppercut.
Oh my God!
Just teeing off! He hit him with the same uppercut like 10 times.
One of the craziest barrages to start a fight you will ever see.
They reset and then pow!
Oh! He's out! Guida gets rocked by the head kick!
That's the kind of head kick that puts people to sleep.
A nasty head kick. Most men, the fight would be over.
But Guida gets back up and starts to fight back again.
Clay has tremendous heart though, Mike. He is not going to give up. What a first round. My God.
While it was all Diego Sanchez in round 1, it becomes all Clay Guida in round 2. He gets the takedown. He's dominating in positioning.
Second round was all about Clay Guida. It was all about him now implementing his game plan.
And this is what Clay wants. Ground and pound.
Clay Guida had top position, but he was getting absolutely smashed by elbows from the bottom.
Man, those are some powerful elbows. And Clay's covering up.
There's blood everywhere, sweat everywhere. Guida's hair is flying everywhere.
Both men bloodied, neither beaten.
And they enter that third round, and it's just a war.
Oh, Diego's all over him.
It's back and forth action. Nobody wants to take a step backwards.
There's tension in the air. Somehow, these guys still have the energy to go at it.
Two relentless warriors.
Towards the end of the fight in the third round, I mean, you can just tell both of these guys had gone through such a big war.
These guys are beating the hell out of each other for 3 straight rounds. There was no break.
Guida continuing to the final bell.
Wow. What a fight.
There's been a lot of great fights in the UFC's history, but Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez, this is a Hall of Fame worthy fight in every sense of the word.
Man, did that live up to its promise or what?
I think it exceeded expectation.
The fight ends in a split decision for Diego Sanchez, and one of the best fights and displays of heart and endurance and will to win by two guys that you will ever see.
Are you not entertained?
Ladies and gentlemen, Chicago, please join us in congratulating the Carpenter, Clay Guida. What a moment for Clay Guida there with his brother, Jason Guida. They will soon take their place in the UFC Hall of Fame. Truly one of those fights in which you remember where you were, and Joe Rogan, you know exactly where you were, sitting on the base of the octagon, booing and on every step of the way.
Yeah, it's still unbelievable. Like, you go watch it now and you still go, what? How? How did they do it? How did he survive that head kick?
You don't get up from a head kick like that. But how about Diego Sanchez just running across the octagon? These dudes, these boys are crazy. Sometimes they're good fights, and then sometimes they're just two dudes that are out of their minds. And these two dudes are out of their minds, and they deserve this. And it couldn't happen to two better guys. We love them both, and they had their moment, man, and they made the most of it.
They certainly did.
Sometimes a fight becomes sort of the victim of expectations. As you said on the broadcast, there was so much hype, and this actually exceeded.
Well, we knew that Clay Guida had insane endurance. I mean, you saw him at the end of the fight still jumping around. And we knew that Diego Sanchez was the same, and that Diego has the heart of a warrior. Both guys do. It was a perfect matchup, and either one could have won the decision, by the way. That's how it was a split decision. It was so damn close. It was an amazing contest, but it was just so exciting and fun and satisfying to watch these men bare their soul and give you everything they had. And there's not a lot of fighters who fight that way. That's a very unusual way to fight, to just decide to throw all your chips on the table. And it was amazing.
And 10 years later, both guys still active.
That's crazy.
On this UFC
and
roster.
Still winning.
Yes. Right. The UFC Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by Toyo Tires goes down Friday, July 5th. From the Pearl at the Palms, tickets go on sale this Friday at Ticketmaster.com. All ticket proceeds benefit Catholic Charities of Southern Nevada. All right, here now, look at what's coming your way over on UFC Fight Pass, streaming live this Monday and Tuesday, back-to-back Muay Thai from Bangkok. Friday, Cage Fury FC 76, featuring a flyweight title fight. And also this coming Friday, it'll be TKO 49, live from Quebec. Download the UFC app today. Well, we are in Chicago, Illinois for UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes. You see the Willis Tower there, still referred to by many as the Sears Tower. When it was finished in 1973, it was the tallest building in the world, held that distinction for 25 years, and still a site that is frequented by many who tourist Chicago, Illinois. UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes, presented by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. These fighter odds brought to you by PokerStars, pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars. So Joe, here we are, Ferguson, Cerrone. We've seen the betting line bounce around a little bit. Ferguson a minus 180 favorite here against the plus 150 underdog, Cowboy Cerrone.
Well, it's one of those fights where you really have no idea what's going to happen until they get into that octagon and throw down. Both guys are absolutely world class. Both guys could be a world champion.
Well, as the midpoint of 2019 approaches, many believe the fight of the year race could settle on this showdown here between two of the best lightweights in the game. They are Tony Ferguson and Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
For years, I've sat back and told you guys, you asked me making a run for the title, and I said, nah, I don't really care. It doesn't interest me. Now it's time.
Donald Cowboy Cerrone. The UFC record book almost reads like his Wikipedia page.
Cerrone now trying to lock up the arm. He taps! Donald Cowboy Cerrone, the all-time leader in wins, the all-time leader in finishes. You're looking at him.
I keep setting records every time I step in the ring, and it's like, man, how can I become the greatest to have ever done this who never gets a belt? It's like, that's the last thing I need in my legacy, man. It's what I want.
He beats Tony Ferguson. He deserves a 155-pound title shot. No questions asked. That fight right there was one of the best fights you can make at lightweight.
Ferguson right now is as hard as any fight in the division.
We build him as arguably the most exciting fighter in mixed martial arts at present. His UFC record lightweight winning streak is now 11.
He was the interim champion, came back from injury. I mean, Tony Ferguson needs to get his title fight soon.
In order to be the champ, you have to beat everybody.
I faced Anthony Pettis, RDA, Zetson Barboza.
Shot from Barboza.
Excellent scramble. Now he's going for the door.
He's got it! Ferguson!
So I'm running out of asses to kick, and Donald Cerrone was the only one that could step up to the plate.
He's like really durable and really tough. I've seen him get dropped, almost put away.
Oh, Ferguson goes down! Oh my goodness!
He's like Homer Simpson. He just comes back, and these guys get tired and then shoot like a crazy takedown, and he puts him in a darce and chokes him out.
He's tapping! That's it!
Tony Ferguson!
But stylistically wise, I'm better.
Oh my goodness!
Striking,
Oh! Head kick knocks Hernandez down! That is it!
on the ground.
Donald's got his back! He's got it! He's got it! That's it! That's it!
I've seen everything. I've been in the fire. I've been in the trenches, man. I've been there. I'm the boogeyman, man. I'm the guy that they have to be like, ooh, cowboy on short notice? Bring your shit on.
I'm a heartless blue-collar worker that's in my sport right now. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna out-punch him, I'm gonna out-strike him, and I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna rope this cowboy up and tie him up. I see this fight playing out with Donald one way. That's me coming out with that victory.
I'm gonna eat him with knees, eat him with elbows. Cowboy will become the #1 contender for the lightweight belt. It's time.
Was a prize fighter. He entertained, he wanted to fight every 3 weeks, but now there is an undeniable championship aspiration beneath the surface. It's all about the boy in the belt.
It really is. It transferred all his hopes and dreams and all of his aspirations. He all of a sudden is now doing it for a legacy, and he feels like a new man because of that child, because of becoming a father. It's changed him tremendously, and he has been on a tear. Particularly impressive was his last fight against Al Iaquinta. Al Iaquinta is a savage, and Donald Cerrone pieced him up and kicked his ass. He really did. It was a beautiful fight.
It was unbelievable to watch. It's so easy to count out Cowboy Cerrone in these big moments, but he always steps up. He's got tears in his eyes walking to the octagon because this man has a purpose now. And it's hard not to feel good for Donald because he has reinvented himself on so many occasions. What a performer, what a fighter, Donald Cerrone.
This guy has arenas around the world eating out of his hands. Donald Cowboy Cerrone, after a 6-4 run in welterweight, now his 3rd straight back at lightweight, wins over Alexander Hernandez, and Al Iaquinta has put him firmly in the thick of this title mix. And even at the weigh-in, Joe, you were right there yesterday, he said to Dana White, winner here's getting a title fight, right? And certainly he'd be hard to deny if he can end this extended winning streak of El Cucuy.
Well, also marketing-wise, who else would you want to do it other than the guy who's the winningest fighter with the most submissions of all time?
Right. Justin Gaethje, and anyone you want to throw into the mix, you are looking live at arguably the most watchable, most exciting mixed martial arts fighter in the world today, the #2 ranked lightweight contender, Tony Ferguson. Several years ago, he realized the UFC interim championship, but with 11 consecutive wins, a winning streak that dates to October of 2013, Ferguson once again might be one win away from an undisputed title shot. DC, I know you have done your film study on the man they call El Cucuy.
Load up the telestrator. Tony Ferguson is one of those guys that needs to be free. Look at this against Edson Barboza. Right here, Edson Barboza is at the perfect range. He's out of danger. Tony can't elbow him. Tony can't make it nasty. And Tony needs to be striking. But Tony Ferguson doesn't allow you to be comfortable. He walks in, throws his kick, gets hit. Boom. Now he's already getting beaten to stand up. But this defines Tony Ferguson. Watch here. Highlight his face. He's just going to shake it off. It's not a big deal. Get right back to going forward. Imanari roll just to get Edson Barboza into the grappling. Now, this didn't lead to the finish, but this shows you how free he is. After a while, Edson doesn't know what's coming at him. Tony secures this Darce choke, gets the finish over a tough Edson Barboza. He's so free-flowing that it's unbelievable to watch him compete. He has to do that against Cowboy. If it's too structural, he's gonna be behind Donald. It has to be free and crazy.
He's a brilliant madman. That's what he is. And he's one of the most creative guys to ever step into the octagon. Also one of the toughest. Unbelievably durable. Knows how to survive getting hurt. He gets hurt and he covers up. He finishes. And then once he's recovered, he finds a way to finish you. He has incredible endurance and an unstoppable will to win.
And he last lost a fight on Cinco de Mayo 2012. This still the tape brought to you by Modelo Brew for those with a fighting spirit. Tony Ferguson, 35. Donald Cerrone is 36. Cerrone has 2 inches in height, but Tony Ferguson has a 3.5-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions for this featured bout. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Bergliata. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 36 wins, 11 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, by way of Denver, Colorado, presenting the #4 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Donald Cowboy Cerrone! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 25 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Orange County, California, presenting the former interim UFC lightweight champion and the #2 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Tony El Cucuy Ferguson!
All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. I want to touch close to you now. Good luck to both of you guys.
Well, amazing to think 4 weeks ago we had this loaded UFC 238 fight card, and these 2 men were not a part of it. They most certainly are right now. Donald Cerrone, Tony Ferguson, in less than 10 seconds.
Tony Ferguson just pushed the cameraman away so he could get a better look at Donald.
I mean, they got the full main event treatment too.
And they should.
Go to the middle. Everybody understands what type of fight we're in store for right now.
All right, this fight clock brought to you by Modelo Brew for those with a fighting spirit. Ferguson in black, Cowboy Cerrone in blue.
If there's going, wow, right away Tony with the kick.
jab, working off of that weapon early.
Good right hand to the body by Tony. Donald trying to find that rhythm. Good inside leg kick by Tony.
This is the thing about Ferguson. You can be hitting him, but he's going to be right there the whole time. He's not going anywhere. He's going to stay in your face. He's going to keep engaging you in just that ugly fight. And then you got to start watching out for the elbows. Because when they start landing, then you're really in trouble.
Both guys are exchanging jabs, hard jabs.
Ferguson, lifelong wrestler, two-time All-American at Grand Valley State. Called it his platform to gain mental toughness. Few better platforms to do that.
And here he gets weird on you. And when he gets weird like that, it's very difficult to gauge what he's going to do. He's incredibly creative. Nice inside leg kick by Cowboy there.
You don't be turning your back on Donald Cerrone, though.
Oh, Donald stung him with that left hand. Tony's pulling back with his head straight up in the air.
Way up in the air. And Cowboy is teeing off. When the exchange is finished, Cowboy is the one that's landing at the end of him.
Ferguson's training habits truly the stuff of legend, the consummate workhorse.
Both guys with strong leg kicks right there. Oh, elbow by Tony.
Those are the ones. I mean, he landed one against Josh Thompson that really changed the path of the fight. It was competitive initially, and then after that big elbow cut Josh, Tony ran away with the fight. So you cannot take those shots. Anthony Pettis, every guy that fights him, they end up so bloodied and battered.
The other thing that's unbelievable about Tony is his ability to push a pace. Nice left hand there by Tony. His endurance is legendary.
Ferguson, another guy who's been buoyed by the birth of his son Armand, who's going to be 3 years old soon. Not as well publicized, but huge source of motivation for him.
Good left hand there by Ferguson.
I mean, Tony's pace is just crazy.
It's crazy, and very few people can keep up with him.
He's just constantly touching Donald right now. Donald's landing, but he just can't stop Tony from pursuing it. And he's hitting him clean.
Good front kick to the body by Tony.
As many of you know, Cerrone went a full 25-minute main event with Ally Quinta 34 days ago.
But for Donald, that might be good. Yeah. Because one of the things he loves most is being active. There's some blood on Tony's face. It's hard to see where it's coming from. Looks like a cut in the cheek.
Right over the eye. It's right over the right eye. He got cut. And you got to think, Cowboy fought 25 a couple weeks ago. Maybe he could keep this high pace for 15. You know, it's 10 minutes less.
It all depends on what kind of damage he took in that fight. Good kick to the body there by Ferguson.
Under a minute now to go round one. Back and forth offense as expected. Cerrone's jab has been on point tonight.
As is Tony's. There's 2 in a row for Tony. Donald to the body, Tony with a front kick.
Ferguson rolls with that left hand from Cerrone. 20 seconds to go in the round.
Good left hand by Donald. He hurt him with that. Oh, high kick.
Oh! Now Ferguson to the body. 5 minutes down. Tonight's Corner Camp brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Try the new 28-ounce berry lemonade flavor exclusively at 7-Eleven.
Listen, man, everything's slow motion right now. I need you to get in there, all right? The elbows are in there, okay? You're respecting too much. I don't need that, okay? Don't respect it. I need you to pressure, more pressure. So okay? You have it.
Listen to me, okay? You're doing good. You look sharp. Don't force it, though. You're loading up with your shots, okay? You're loading up. That's why you ain't quite catching them. Chin down. Don't pull out with your head up. Keep your shots going. More speed. More speed.
Looking good, Tony. Tremendous exchanges back and forth. Look at this. Beautiful elbow by Ferguson. Turns his back on Donald, which is very strange. Couple of good jabs there by Tony in the right hand as well. Just really evenly matched first round.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyright work is illegal and punishable under law. Ferguson landed 64% of his significant strike attempts unofficially in round one.
Oh, jab hurt him a little bit. Jab made Cowboy sit in the chair a little bit.
Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
He hurt him with the left hand again.
I mean, Tony's punches are starting to take an effect on Donald. That's the thing about fighting Tony Ferguson, is like you can fight a good round, but you got to be able to sustain that for 15, 25 minutes because he will not stop.
Right.
And you got to sustain it at his pace. He does not let you rest. He does not let you dictate the pace. Nice kick to the body by Tony, and again.
Now you see him just kind of taking it to Cowboy. Donald's gonna have to answer.
So hard to know what's coming.
Tony loves to work that body with those front kicks too, and it really saps your energy. Look at him, nice leg kick by Tony. There's very few guys put the kind of pressure on you that Tony Ferguson does.
And if you're gonna finish Ferguson, you gotta separate him from consciousness, put him to sleep, because he keeps on coming.
Good right hand by Ferguson, the head kick, look at these guys.
Nice right hand counter from Cerrone.
Some blood coming out of the nose of Cowboy. Nice inside leg kick. Oh, he stung him with that jab.
It doesn't even seem like Tony's throwing very hard, but it hurts. But Cowboy's fighting well. And if you fight Donald Cerrone, you back up with that chin in the air when he's throwing those long combinations. Kick is coming. He likes to finish his combos with kicks.
Oh! Left hand of Ferguson stops Cerrone in his tracks. Coming up on 3 minutes now in round two. Little telegraph on the spinning attack there.
Donald's having a problem with that nose. He keeps touching it. A lot of blood coming out of it. It's forcing him to breathe out of his mouth. Head kick blocked. Oh, across the legs by Ferguson. Oh, elbow. Beautiful spinning elbow.
Tony Ferguson is a madman.
That jab is insane.
They're both so long for this weight division.
Tony has heavy hands, too.
Yes, look at how much he's busting Donald up, and it doesn't even look like he's throwing all that hard.
Well, he's got big fists.
Yeah.
And when he lands, it's got a lot of weight.
Wow. These boys are going at it.
But Tony's doing a lot of damage in this round. You're seeing it on Donald's face. You're seeing swelling on his face. You see it in his nose.
Ferguson wide-eyed as usual. As he presses forward, gets taken down here. Ferguson back to his feet with little issue. Look
Front
at the
kick
swelling.
to the body again.
Both of those eyes.
I mean, that tells you the power. That's why every time guys fight Tony Ferguson, they're always so beat up. The face is real beat up. There's bruising, there's cutting. That just tells you the amount of power that he carries and all the things that he's doing.
51 head strikes and counting for El Cucuy. He has been the far more accurate striker thus far.
Oh, head kick by Donald. But Tony grazed it off and tagged him to the left. He throws two shots at the same time. He'll kick you and punch you at the same exact time. And it's so difficult to prepare for.
And I think what people they underestimate is the ability to roll punches that Tony Ferguson's doing. He's not taking these strikes clean. Even that head kick, he rolled that head kick.
His jab has continuously backed Cerrone up tonight. Under a minute here, round two.
kick by Donald. But Tony just never stops, and he's not even breathing heavy. That's what's crazy. He can keep this pace, and very few people can hang in there with him.
There's no point of comparison for Ferguson.
No.
I don't know who you'd compare.
Look at that elbow. He's busting Donald up. Hit him with that right hand. And he's feeling loose now.
Competitive first round, not so much second round.
The second round's the Tony Ferguson show. Donald's in trouble. Both his eyes are swollen shut. Look at that.
Blatant right hand after the horn from Ferguson.
That's terrible.
We'll see how Dan Miragliotta chooses to proceed as Rob Monroe attends.
That was dirty right after the bell. You heard the bell. I told you to break. I gave him a hard warning. That was after the bell and after I said break.
To the end of the round.
We didn't hear that.
We didn't get the sound. Run it back. We're not getting the bell, but it seemed right after the bell. So tonight we've had a guy hold on to submission long, and now a big strike after the bell goes.
We got 5 minutes left, right?
Look at me, everything.
Everything. Let's go.
Let me call it and throw it. Let's play video.
I don't know what he can do different. I really don't. Let's take it one more time. We'll hear it. That's blatant. I mean, that really is blatant.
Hey, Joe, it looked like Cerrone maybe blew his nose, and that right eye now is almost completely closed.
You can't blow your nose.
And now Dan Miragliotta's going to call in the doctor. And
you can't blow your nose whenever your nose is broken or anything like that. I mean it is completely shut.
See. This fight's going to be over
His
right
eye was
here.
swollen from strikes before that, but can you watch the replay and see if that last blow after the bell hit his eye? Let me know where it hit.
The fight is over because they're asking for the replay. If they're asking for the replay now, this fight is over.
It's over. He wants to confirm whether or not that late strike landed and hit his eye. Doctor's saying you can't fight. Look.
You can't fight.
Doctor's telling him he can't fight.
The doctor's protecting him, and it's for a good reason. His right eye is completely closed shut.
And we're going to show you where Cerrone...
All right, let me bring in the commissioner.
The fight is over, ladies and gentlemen.
They're going to look at the replay to see.
They're going to look at the replay, but once they look at the replay, the fight is over.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a question of how they will proceed.
You got him on the other side, look like, right? Where'd the punch land?
It looked like it landed on his nose. I mean, I don't remember, though. We're going to see it. Look at it. No, it's on the nose.
Well, the crowd doesn't like it, Cerrone doesn't like it, but when the eye is completely shut, the doctor...
For his own good. This is the correct decision.
And now the crowd's starting to fire stuff at the octagon. We hope we'll get that
I just got hit in the back by something.
Ice.
Got a lot of muscle back there, Joe. We're going to take a look at the replay of Donald Cowboy Cerrone blowing his nose.
Yeah.
We hear a lot of cut men warn fighters not to do this.
Don't
blow.
The thing is, you feel like you want to be able to breathe out of your nose. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I got kicked in the nose against Rumble Johnson, and I blew my nose, and it just blew up completely. I didn't blow my nose. It blew up completely. Look at Donald.
Yeah.
Right away, he's like, oh, my goodness, my eye.
Yeah.
As soon as he blew it, he understood that he had made a mistake.
It's just so hard to not do that when your nose is clogged up.
Yeah.
And you're about to go into a third round with a savage like Tony Ferguson.
I actually... When Rumble kicked my face, all Bob was saying was don't blow, because the air blows up behind all the swelling and the blood, and all of a sudden that happens, you can't see anything. So how does this fight get scored? What happens here?
It will be a TKO, I would assume, for Tony Ferguson, unless Dan Miragliotta determines that the late blow at the end of round 2 was what caused the eye to shut. That does not appear to be the case. So needless to say, an anticlimactic conclusion to this one. We're going to take a look at the end of the round once more with the audio up so you can hear the strike after the horn. It was on the nose. From my vantage point, looked to veer to the right side and not the left side. not to the eye in question,
I don't know, man. It's just such an unfortunate thing. You know, two guys that put such a great fight on to end in that way is very difficult. But I mean, they both laid it all out on the line tonight.
Punch after the bell hit him in the nose, so it had nothing to do with the eye. Thank goodness.
He blew his nose in the eye.
I think when he blew his nose over there, he didn't do that. Well, he blew his nose over there too.
I'm sorry, guys. Can't bring him in. Oh, sorry. All right, the official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. Here is Bruce Bruff.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 2, the doctor has called a stop to this contest, declaring the winner by TKO, Tony El Cucuy Ferguson.
I'm here with the winner, Tony Ferguson. Tony, an unfortunate end to the fight, but a spectacular performance up until that moment, particularly in the second round, where you really seemed to start to take over. Give us your thoughts on the fight and how it ended.
Talk to Cowboy.
Cowboy, there was a punch after the round. It hit you in the nose. You blew your nose, which is something you're never supposed to do, and your eyes swole up. Give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I just asked if they could push the air back down. That's all I want. The punch had nothing to do with it. That was the fight I think everybody wanted. I'm so sorry. I don't quit. I don't back down. And man, I just wanted to keep fighting. I was just asking, can you just push the air back down? And you're right, I shouldn't have blown my nose. I'm a veteran, I'm old school, and I should have known that. But I did, and I humbly couldn't finish the fight, and I apologize.
Well, Donald, even in a loss, you're a gentleman and a warrior. It was an honor to watch your fight, and we will see you again, my friend. Donald Cerrone, ladies and gentlemen. Tony, I know this is not how you wanted the fight to end, but this leaves you in a position. I know this is not how you wanted the fight to end, but this leaves you in a #1 contender position. So please give us your thoughts on where that stands.
Let them get their boots in. It's not how I wanted the fight to go. It was a really emotional year. There's a lot. I mean, it's a fucking fight in here. Yeah, just a lot of emotions flaring. There's no words I can express it. I don't like to win that way. We could throw it back. I don't mind doing that. I really don't. He's a hell of a fucking fighter. Hats off to Cowboy Cerrone and his team. Thank you for taking the opportunity right after an immediate fight. I want to say thank you, fans from Chicago. Thank you guys for coming here. I don't want to fucking win like that. I know better than that. I'm a better person than that. I'm a better fighter than that. I can give a fuck who's next. I don't give 2 fucks. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna look at this and be pissed at myself for a long fucking time. Hats off to Cowboy Cerrone, like I said, and his family. We went out here. I hope you guys enjoyed at least the first couple fights, man.
Besides the bad ending, congratulations on an excellent performance. Tony Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen.
And it certainly was that, DC. An excellent performance. We'll look back at it. This fight replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
It's unfortunate because it takes away from such a phenomenal performance by Tony Ferguson. He did a lot of things very, very well. And Cowboy Cerrone did a lot of things well. But he hurt Donald on a number of occasions, and the fight was trending in the wrong direction for the Cowboy. So Tony Ferguson, even though he got a victory, not in the most ideal way, did fight a good fight. So let's not take away from what he did. He put on a great performance.
Very crazy to think that had that late strike landed a couple inches to the other side, that we could be looking at a disqualification for Tony Ferguson. Instead, the winning streak is 12. These fighter stats are brought to you by PokerStars, pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars. Most finishes in UFC lightweight history. 10 now for El Cucuy, Tony Ferguson. All right, tonight's crowd shots are brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. And these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Last December, Valentina Shevchenko outlasted Joanna Jędrzejczyk to become the undisputed UFC flyweight champion, and tonight, still long on motivation, she'll try to defend her title with style points as she welcomes the #1 contender, Jessica Eye. She's moved her entire life and training out of Ohio to Las Vegas. She can effectively change her life forever if she can spring this monumental upset here in Chicago. Well, as many of you know, seasons 1 and 2 were received with much fanfare, and on June 18th, Dana White's Contender Series returns. Mark your calendars.
Dana White's Contender Series, the world's most intense job interview.
This is where Dana White and the crew are looking for the next prospects.
Perhaps future champions on display. Fast and furious action. Make a statement and earn that UFC contract.
When you're in front of Dana White, the urgency is there. It just ups the stakes. You're in front of Dana White. These guys know what's on the line. They want that contract. He stung him with that. Whoa, he's out.
Finishes have become the norm, not the exception.
That is it. On to the Sugar Show.
We bring in the best unsigned talent on earth, and you have the opportunity to show us what you got. And it all leads up to this moment right here. This is your moment to shine.
Can't wait. At this time, happy to release for the first time the fight card for week 4 of Dana White's Contender Series on July 16th. 2 of the 5 bouts will be in the middleweight division, and now we'll show you the full 10-week Season 3 schedule. It all begins 10 days from now, Tuesday, June 18th, only Dark Week, July 2nd for International Fight Week. The season concludes Week 10 on August 27th. It's now live from the new UFC Apex, airs exclusively on ESPN Plus, and it all begins Tuesday, June 18th. Well, everyone is tuning into UFC 238, a live look inside Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Chicago. There he is, Brian T. City Ortega, enjoying the fights, and perhaps a few tall boys with UFC fans here in Chi-Town. All right, co-headliner is upon us. These fighter odds are brought to you by PokerStars. Pound for pound, the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on PokerStars. As you see, Valentina Shevchenko entrenched as a whopping minus 1,400 favorite. Jessica Eye comes back at plus 800. And it has certainly been a winding road for the #1 contender, Jessica Eye, to arrive here at her first UFC title fight. If she can leave United Center a champion, she will need to produce the greatest effort of her career to dethrone the queen, Valentina Shevchenko.
At UFC 238, Valentina Shevchenko defends her title against the streaking Jessica Eye.
I train harder than all of them. I know my power. I know everything that I have. Doesn't matter what Jessica will do on the fight, I am the best.
Valentina Shevchenko is a savage. Went 5 rounds with Amanda Nunes. Who goes 5 rounds with Amanda Nunes anymore? Right? Chris Cyborg couldn't go 5 rounds with Amanda Nunes. Valentina Shevchenko did.
She had a lot of success at 135 pounds, and I think that really set her up for the flyweight division.
Here's a fighter, she has been in combat since 12 years old.
And she is the full package. Oh! Consistently pushing the pace. Oh, very nice, very nice.
Oh, there's the tap. Valentina Shevchenko by submission.
You know, the phrase Cleveland tough, it captures everything that Jessica Eye is. She's done nothing but win. Beat Jessica Rose Clark. Beat Caitlin Chukagian. Undefeated now since the UFC reintroduced the weight class to the organization.
Oh! At one point, we were losing.
Oh!
Now we're winning, and that's what hard work does for you.
Oh, God.
I'm here just to show people what never giving up does for you.
Everyone, they are saying about her wrestle games, that she gonna use like a lot of wrestling. It's okay. If she wanna use it, yes, she can use her wrestling, but I can use everything.
This is gonna be one of the best fights that they're gonna see. I think that game plans win fights, and I think that Valentina's a great fighter, but my game plan will be better.
I'm ready to fight. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter where. On the throne.
So here is the #1 ranked flyweight contender in the world, Jessica Evil Eye, born and raised in Ohio 13 weeks ago. She picked up her entire life, moved into Las Vegas, joined Extreme Couture. You see Eric Nixon and Gray Maynard in her corner. She's leaned a lot on Gray. He was one of the first people she reached out to when she got to Vegas, and he has helped mold her into a fighter that she believes is going to shock the world here tonight.
I'll tell you what, she's got a lot of swagger walking towards that octagon. An unusual amount for her. Like, she's ramping it up. She knows this is huge, and she's very confident coming into what will be the biggest test of her professional career. She's got excellent boxing. She's tough as nails, and that confidence and that swagger could be a big factor in this fight.
Well, it's going to have to play a part, you know, and some people can say Jessica Eye, even being in this position, overcoming all that she's overcome over the course of her life, is a victory in itself. But for Jessica Eye, it's championship or bust. She said that she's long known she's the best in this division, and finally feels as though the focus is solely on her down in Vegas. Her camp is completely around Jessica Eye, and winning this title tonight, she finally gets that opportunity.
This prep point is brought to you by Modelo Brew, for those with a fighting spirit. Really remarkable, Joe. She had just one UFC win entering 2018. She begged for them to launch this 125-pound division, and the proof's in the results. She's been undefeated since moving back down.
She's got phenomenal boxing, very big attitude, loves to fight, and like Joe said, just tough. You want to talk about Cleveland tough, you talk about Jessica Eye. That's exactly what she is. Her city defines her, and she carries it on her back.
Shevchenko, 17-time world Muay Thai and K1 champion, master of sport, boxing, kickboxing, taekwondo, judo. Joe, they just don't come more well-rounded in the women's game than Valentina Shevchenko.
in any game. She is one of the best martial artists on the planet Earth, and Jessica Ai is going to need all that swagger, all that confidence, because this woman is an assassin. She is as talented and as skilled as any martial artist in men or women's division. She has some of the best spinning techniques in the sport. She's rock solid in every single department. She's very physically strong, and she's battle tested.
She is very battle tested. I mean, she went 5 rounds with Amanda Nunes. She went 8 rounds with Amanda Nunes. Nobody does that anymore. But Valentina Shevchenko is a phenomenal counter striker, and she has an ability to just assess things at a higher rate than most of her opponents. She finds openings. She outstruck Holly Holm over 25 minutes. It's absolutely insane, her level of the stand-up game. But don't think that it's all stand-up. She can take it on and submit you, as she did to the Venezuelan vixen. I thought when we spoke to her on Thursday, the best thing she said to us, John, was, even though life changes as the UFC champ, I don't want nothing to change, because that is what got me to where I am today, me being who I am. It changes, what if I can't be the same? It's crazy.
Joe, she says she takes the name and prepares for that person, treats them like the greatest fighter in the world, prepares for their dangerous techniques, but she would appear to have a lot of advantages here, at least skill for skill in this matchup.
If you were a betting man, the money would be on that woman. Anything can happen in this crazy sport when people start throwing bones and 4-ounce gloves, but if you want to look at one of the best martial artists on the planet, that's one of them right there.
All right, with
Jessica
that, we have
has a huge
arrived.
task.
She does, at the first of 2 title fights here tonight in Chicago, Illinois. This tail of the tape brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Kyrgyzstan Shevchenko, 31. The American Jessica Ai is 32. Jessica Ai, the taller woman by an inch. But Valentina Shevchenko will have a half-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions. For the co-main event, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Illinois State Athletic Commission. This championship bout is sponsored by Motel 6. When you're ready to tap out, book online at motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you. And Nemirov, bold character since 1872. Our 3 judges scoring this contest in octagon side are Sally Amato, Ron McCarthy, and Gabriel Sabates. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon, Rob Madrigal. And now, this fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 14 wins, 6 losses, 1 no contest. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, presenting the #1 ranked flyweight contender in the world, Jessica Evil Ai. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 16 wins, 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 124 pounds. Fighting out of Bishkek, Kazakhstan, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko.
All right, ladies, I need you to protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. I want you to fight hard, but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Back up and let's get started.
Here we go, Valentina Shevchenko making the first defense of her title against the +800 underdog Jessica
Jessica, you ready? Valentina, you ready? Let's go.
And we are underway. This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Jessica Ai is in blue, Valentina Shevchenko in the black and gold, befitting a champion.
Right away, hard kick to the body. From that southpaw stance, really opens up that back power kick of Valentina's. There it is again.
No, that's 2 big kicks to the body.
And there's a third
it's
one.
hurt.
She's She's getting lit up already. And she's stepping in and winging very telegraphed punches. She blocked that one.
Yep, she's got to do that. And she'll block him as long as she's not overexerting herself, going forward too much.
Shevchenko with a body lock and a high amplitude takedown.
Ai's got to try to recover guard. She shouldn't give her back to try to get back up. She's got to start forcing Valentina down towards her leg so she can then slide her right leg back inside. Recover half guard and then go to full guard. There you go, now she's in half guard. And she's got the underhook on the left side.
She's got to scoot her hips towards the left side.
Yep.
And try to use that underhook to get back up to her feet.
But I mean, do you want to get back to your feet after taking 3 massive body kicks like that from Shevchenko? And in an area where you know Shevchenko really does thrive.
Well, she thrives down here too. That's what's scary about her. There's really not a weakness in her game. And she steps over into side control now. And now to full mount. Nasty. Jessica's utilizing that right leg. Good job.
Oh!
Very good job.
Looked like Jessica I maybe, excuse me, Joe, tapped the back of the head of Shevchenko, but we continue.
You thought she tapped?
She just tapped the back of her head, but I think it was just a quick arm movement.
Yeah.
No, not tapping out. I just...
Oh my goodness.
You scared us,
sorry,
man.
Sorry.
You want to get excited. Yeah, you want to get excited. Shevchenko's doing a great job of controlling the position. Real short arms, keeping Jessica flat on her back. That's one of the key to top grappling. Making sure your opponent isn't getting to their hip. If we're grappling, Joe, you got a left underhook. You got to get to your right hip in order to start getting up. As long as I keep you flat, I can control you. That is what Valentina's doing right now to Jessica.
Valentina's being very patient here, taking her time. But she has her right leg trapped. She's punching her in the ear here, real close range, little short shots to the body, but nothing big. She's trying to initiate movement. She wants Jessica to open up so that she can create space and free up her right leg.
What Valentina's not seeing is that if she just starts to drive Jessica over to this side, she can then start to slide her knee up out of that position. But Jessica I has her in that lockdown position.
Yeah.
That can just keep you kind of stuck. Valentina needs to use her opposite leg to go under and post it. Kenny Florian showed me this because I used to get locked down a lot. Bring your right foot under, the same side right there, and then you lift up with the leg that's trapped, and then you go right, it'll slide the leg out because you make a post on the bottom of that lockdown leg.
Well, Jessica did a really good job here to get to full guard. So good defensive maneuver from Jessica. She's adjusting her hips. She's looking for elbows from the bottom.
Now, this used to be such a great position, but now I think it invites people to get out. You put them towards the fence, and they just use it to stand up. Look, Jessica is doing it, right? Valentina actually put her there.
Yes.
And she used that fence as a shield to get back to her feet. But she's got to clear one of these underhooks. As long as Valentina has 2 underhooks, she can advance to the next position. There you go. Right back down.
Shevchenko with her second takedown on as many attempts here. Less than a minute now, round 1.
But this time clearly into side control, and she's not
Watch the back of the head. Watch the back of the head, Valentina.
She's not going to give up that left leg so easily this time. Particularly now that she knows that Jessica wants to lock her down. So she's shifting her hips. And it looks like she's going to move to the mounted crucifix position. She's slowly going to try to advance to where she can get the left arm of Jessica in between her legs and then trap the right arm with her neck.
I mean, you talk about the physical strength of Valentina Shevchenko, and you see it in this position. I mean, Jessica seems stuck under her.
She's
not able to really move.
There it is.
There it is.
Fully trapped, and this is a very, very difficult position to get out. Lucky for her, she doesn't have much time. She got her arm. She might tap here. Oh, look at that. Jessica reverses it.
Nice job by Jessica I to survive. We're going to take a look back and a listen back to Valentina Shevchenko's high-level offense in round 1.
right? She obviously ducked under on the first time. A little water for you. What do you got, Gray?
Good job. You just got to change that angle on that right. Catch her ducking down. Right?
Okay. She gets inside of us. We don't want her chest to chest. I want to create a frame first, right? Break off with that frame and look for short elbows. When you get on the ground, she's not.
You're working very smart. Don't risk too much. You did everything well. Keep calm. Keep and collected.
So we'll see what Jessica Ai has in terms of answers here in round 2. Shevchenko very much looking the part of minus 1,400 favorite in round 1.
Round two, let's go!
Well, that first round's got to give Jessica a little bit of confidence. She survived a submission attempt, reversed the position, got on top at the end of the round, and didn't really sustain too much damage other than the big body kicks at the beginning.
Clearly, Ai in outstanding shape, barely breathing heavy after round 1.
Oh, she ate that one hard. I mean, that sounds like someone is slapping the bag with a baseball bat.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, head kick, it's it.
Valentina Shevchenko with a huge highlight
That's
tonight.
Terrible. That is a terrible head kick. Her legs are shaking.
Oh my God.
She is out cold. Wow.
The ever-respectful Shevchenko.
That woman is an assassin. She is an assassin.
Body. Came high with the head kick. I mean, oh my goodness.
And look at her walking around the octagon.
That's crazy.
That woman
26 seconds.
She is a straight-up assassin.
The medical team attending to Jessica Ai on the wrong end of a vicious knockout tonight. This fight replay brought to you by Nemiroff. Bold character since 1872.
Jessica is still out cold. I mean, that was a perfectly placed head kick.
It was the body kicks, man.
Yep.
She had taken those body kicks, so watch her hands. When she loaded up, she's thinking body and
shin to
the dome. And you can't take shin to the dome, man.
And that was a bad one. As you see her legs twitch, and she's still unconscious. Let's take a listen to it. Wow. I mean, that is one of the most brutal KOs we have ever seen.
It's crazy. Look at Valentina's coach, right? He's like he's more worried.
Yeah.
He looked like he was worried about Jessica instead of just up and celebrating. It was crazy.
Jessica is
she's still down.
Completely unconscious. Still lying flat. She hasn't moved a muscle.
It looks like she's blinking her eyelids now and starting to sit up a little bit, thankfully. As UFC President Dana White comes in and congratulates Valentina Shevchenko, of course, his foremost concern, Jessica Ai. Looks like she is starting to come to a little bit. We have thrown so many superlatives Valentina Shevchenko's way and had some decision wins in the UFC, but this is a tremendous result, and it's going to take a Herculean effort, many would think, for somebody to dethrone her at 125.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Joanna Jacek went 25 minutes with her. She has just demolished people at 125 since she's going back down, and this is another one of those results. I mean, this was just a brutal knockout. She didn't even have to follow up. John, the moment it connected, fight was over. You know, Jessica was going to sleep.
And it looked as though Jessica Ai did have some back and forth now with the medical officials still being very careful and attending to Jessica Ai, who is in the center of the octagon, but she is moving around a little bit. And you heard, if you read her lips there, I got knocked out, she says.
That's a question. You know, like, it's, you know, our sport is such a beautiful sport, and, you know, ultimately you want to get the desired result, and the desired result is that, but then you also see the sportsmanship, the concern of Valentina as Jessica was getting checked on.
All right, the official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. To make this title fight official, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rob Madrigal has called a stop to this contest at 26 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by knockout And still, the undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko.
I'm here with the winner, Valentina Shevchenko. First of all, congratulations on a truly spectacular knockout. Were you setting her up with the high kick, with the kicks to the body? Did you see her dropping her hands to protect?
First of all, I would to say thank you to Jessica for taking the fight, for being a strong fighter and giving like everything before the fight. And of course, I only can wish for her good recovery and to be very healthy. This is what we have to have in this kind of sport, be healthy. Thank you, Jessica.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. Thank you for a courageous performance. That was a ruthless knockout. Were you setting her up with the kicks to the body?
In the first round, I felt that kick to the body went through and she a little bit broke. That's why I knew it would work. And in the second round, I continue. And then I think if she's thinking that I will kick in the liver, maybe I have to change the levels. It came up naturally from my side.
Let's take a look at it on the big screen right now. You see how you set it up, and it was probably one of the most devastating high kick knockouts we've ever seen in the sport. Perfectly on the money. For you, an excellent defense of your title. What did you expect coming into this fight? You were a heavy favorite. Was there anything surprising about it?
You know, I was ready for like very brutal fight because I know Jessica has very strong character and she would not give up just like easily. That's why I was prepared to do my best and just to show all my skills. Like I said before, 125 it's my natural weight class, and I'm very happy that finally I'm where I have to be.
You are extremely dominant in this weight class, but do you see a clear contender? Do you see someone else that you could see fighting next?
Of course, yes. All number 10s, they're very strong, very talented girls. And I will be happy to fight each one because in 125, from 125, it's the future of female MMA in UFC. Believe me.
Congratulations on a truly spectacular performance. Valentina Shevchenko, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. DC, one of 6.
I want to say thank you to my home country, Kyrgyzstan, for all people from around the world who support me. Thank you so much. Y claro que sí, yo quiero mandar un saludo grande para todos latinoamericanos que me están apoyando, que siempre brindan su amor. Los quiero mucho. И также хочу сказать спасибо всем моим болельщикам из Кыргызстана и всех стран СНГ. Спасибо за вашу любовь и поддержку. Спасибо вам.
The champion, ladies and gentlemen.
One of 6 knockouts in UFC title fight history to stem from a head kick. First knockout in the UFC for Valentina Shevchenko. No padding on that foot.
I mean, it was crazy. She just spoke 3 languages in there, too.
Yep.
She just spoke English, Spanish, and Russian. She's truly, truly amazing. What a performance by Valentina Shevchenko. Sometimes the toughest thing to do is what's expected. And she went out there and put an exclamation point on this title defense, and now she dances.
There she goes. And she's trilingual. How about that?
It's crazy. She spoke 3 languages there.
Yeah. Well, all of them better than me. And I talk for a living. What she did there, though, was what we expected of what I said coming into this fight. It's one of the best martial artists on the planet. She's not just one of the best women fighters. She's one of the best fighters. She really has no weakness in her game. Her overall game is so comprehensive, but even still, that was stunning.
Absolutely incredible, a true martial artist in every sense, and made her pro debut in 2003, 17, 18 years old. She has been at this for the majority of her professional life and showing no signs of slowing down, if anything, getting better with every passing training camp.
And I think getting better because she's the champion now. And there's something that happens when you become a champion and you get recognized as a champion, everything gets ramped up. There's more obligation, there's more expectation, and tonight, just what a result. She is amazing.
Caitlin Chukagian had a big win earlier tonight by decision over Joanne Calderwood. Perhaps she will be next, but this is a really imposing champion here, Valentina Shevchenko and Daniel Cormier. We are going to take another look back at a knockout that, as Joe said, is one of the best highlights in UFC history.
I mean, it's crazy. Let's load up that telestrator again. You guys know I love using this. Now, this is the first body kick. Right as this lands, I want you guys to pause. Right here, pause that. You see this hand? You see this hand up top by Jessica Eye? If this hand is right here, Valentina Shevchenko does not land the high kick, but what she does land is the body kick. So, knowing that, let it roll, and we get to the finish. Jessica Eye has taken these body kicks, 3 of them. Now she has to worry about getting blasted to the body. Now look at the finish. As she goes here, she loads up, pause it. Look, again, the hands of Jessica Eye. Are they stuck to the head? No, they're thinking body. So Valentina goes head, and it ends the fight. Let it go, watch. Kick lands, she gets hurt. Happened to me before. I've been on the receiving end of this, right? Take a lot of body kicks, you think body, person goes head, all of a sudden you're wobbly, you lose the fight. She just laid down. She got knocked out completely. What a technique by Valentina.
Well, for the 7th time in UFC history, Chicago, the epicenter of the mixed martial arts world, the famed Chicago Theater, where Joe Rogan performed just last year, not too far from where we are tonight, at the home of the Bulls and the Blackhawks. And now live from United Center, it is time for the main event for UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes, presented by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Well, after successive wins over Demetrius Johnson and TJ Dillashaw, flyweight champion Henry Cejudo attempts to make more history here when he tackles Marlon Moraes for the vacant UFC bantamweight world title.
Losing hurts, losing sucks. But losing that fight, it taught me a lesson. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What makes me unique is the fact that I've been through all that. I was honest with myself, looked at myself in the mirror, and I didn't fake it until I made it. I faced it. That right there was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Henry Cejudo with his first UFC finish!
The Demetrius loss is what made me.
Oh, good left hand by Cejudo.
I lit that fire, I lit that spirit back up.
Henry Cejudo!
People weren't expecting it. People weren't expecting me to be Demetrius Johnson.
Wow. Oh, beautiful.
Henry Cejudo has gotten a ton better. I mean, that is high-level wrestling there by Henry Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo, you just shocked the world.
I'm here to prove everybody wrong. I did it with Demetrius. I says, why can't I do it with TJ? The greatest bantamweight of all time.
Oh, we go! Henry Cejudo! No! TJ Dillashaw! Round 1!
I beat 2 of the greatest fighters of our generation. There is no denying that I will need that pound-for-pound crown. That's my legacy, to be the pound-for-pound king.
Bad decision for him. Bad fight for him. I'm very hungry. This is the biggest fight of my life, so I'm gonna work as hard as I ever done before, and I'm gonna show up ready to win. He's a very good wrestler. He beat Demetrius Johnson, he beat TJ Dillashaw, but he never fought Marlon Moraes. I'm gonna show to everyone who's the real champion.
Big kick, and that is it!
I keep knocking guys out.
Oh! Head kick for Moraes! Rivera in big trouble early! That is it!
I'm a killer. I'm gonna go in there with the mission, put him out.
That's it! There's the tap! Marlon Moraes! Wow!
I bring it all, you know, and he knows he's in trouble.
He's knocked out good guys, but they hate me. He's fighting the Henry Cejudo, the greatest combat athlete of all time. He will learn the hard way.
Oh! You see, he's gonna get exposed, Junior. He's gonna get knocked out pretty quick.
This fight's gonna end with Marlon Moraes on the canvas. Another one bites the dust.
Como diz o rei dos reis, os humilhados serão exaltados. Praticar o bem é a melhor saída. Na Bahia, a humildade é a essência da vida. Na escola da vida aprendi como eu chorei, sofri no sonho, eu persisti, não desisti de lutar. Vi muita gente subir, mas nenhum negro cair. O humilhado
So here he is, the #1 contender, Magic Marlon Moraes. He has been nearly perfect, Joe, for 8 years, wins in 17 of his last 18. Many have believed for some time he's been the best bantamweight in the world, and tonight, at long last, he finally gets a chance to prove it.
Well, he was one of those fighters that we saw look sensational in other organizations, and the question was always, how would he perform under the bright lights of the biggest organization in the world? And when he got here, the answer was spectacular. Since the one decision loss to Rafael Assunção, which he avenged with a spectacular submission, he's been amazing. And the guy just looks better and better every time we see him in the octagon. And if there's one thing that separates these two, it's size. He's a much bigger man. And he's a guy who struggles to make the 135-pound division, and there's no way he would make 125 where Henry Cejudo is the champion.
This prep point is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
We talked to Marlon Moraes on Thursday, and he just said, you know, man, my fights haven't been long, but I prepared for 12 5-round fights over the course of my career. He said he's always known, from the moment the fight got announced, Henry would feel something he never felt before. He's extremely confident, really loves the matchup, and feels that the team that he trains with prepares him better for this opportunity than anyone else could in the entire world. He is almost certain, he is certain in his own mind that he gets the job done tonight.
But he has such a well-rounded game. His Muay Thai's off the charts, his Jiu-Jitsu is top ranked. I mean, he is a special fighter.
So here is the UFC flyweight champion, Henry Cejudo, moving up to try to become a double champion tonight. In 2018, he was inducted in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Daniel, you know this man well. He is maniacal about his preparation. This has been a very tailored training camp as he tries to hit that rarefied air that you hit last year.
Yeah, he's very meticulous in his preparation, and Henry Cejudo can be a bit of a character, and he has his Olympic gold medal hanging around his neck. But who else can do that and really say they have an Olympic gold medal to put around their neck?
And a world title
and a world title in the UFC. You can't do that. He is a truly, truly special athlete, and his belief in self is really what propels him to do these special, special things. Because if you don't believe in it, no matter what everybody around you is telling you, you will not accomplish things at the level that he has. And he believes in Henry Cejudo more than anybody. And there are a lot of people that believe in him and his ability to become great.
That maniacal self-belief is what led him to victory over Mighty Mouse Johnson just 2 years after Mighty Mouse had beaten him. And what we see in him tonight is a man who is not just fighting for another title, but fighting for the position of the best combat sports athlete ever. That's what he thinks he can be. Not just the best pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC, not just the only guy to ever win an Olympic gold medal in wrestling and go on to win a world title in the UFC. He wants to be universally recognized as the greatest combat sports athlete ever.
It's a guy that just has to motivate himself. So he just keeps pushing the finish line back, right? You become Olympic champ, what can you do next? I'm gonna go fight the UFC. Okay, now I did that, I gotta be a champion there. Okay, I did that, let me move the finish line again and become a 2-division champion. It's that ability to just continue to set massive goals that allows Henry to be this special.
His appetite for knowledge is insatiable. He has traveled the world trying to get better. Different training tactics, altitude capsules, cognitive work, brain analysis. He has left no stone unturned, and he believes that he is ready to put his best foot forward here tonight as a slight underdog and upset Marlon Moraes and become the simultaneous UFC flyweight and bantamweight champion of the world. This tail of the tape for the main event is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Cejudo 32, The Brazilian Marlon Moraes is 31. Moraes 2 inches taller. He will have a 3-inch reach advantage. All right, now to get you the introductions for our main event. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, presented by Modelo, sanctioned by the Illinois State Athletic Commission. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon tonight are Sally Amato, Brian Paccio, and Chris Lee. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Mark Goddard. This championship bout is sponsored by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. And catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, it's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Bantamweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 22 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 134 pounds. Fighting out of Toms River, New Jersey, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting the #1 ranked bantamweight contender in the world, Magic Marlon Moraes. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler holding a professional record, 14 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, presenting the 2008 Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling and the undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Henry the Messenger Cejudo.
Marlon Henry, you know exactly what I expect. I want you to fight hard, please fight clean. If I tell you to stop, you stop. If you want to touch gloves, now's the time. God bless.
It all comes down to this. The UFC's bantamweight belt is vacant. It will not be in less than a half hour. Ariane Celeste getting us started for round 1 of a possible 5 to determine the best 135-pound mixed martial artist in the world. This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Magic Marlon Moraes is in yellow, Henry Cejudo in the black and gold.
Moraes has huge legs. Look at the size,
He's big, man.
on that dude. He is easily 155 pounds right now.
He's a big, strong guy.
And the power he has is substantial.
His last 3 fights have lasted a combined 457, all of them finishes, all against elite competition.
And the thing is, he's so good on the ground, he can kick with no worries. If you take him down, I mean, he is a submission killer. Oh man, beautiful step in left hook.
Henry's gonna have to throw something if he wants to. He's gonna have to earn the respect of Moraes. Moraes is just going at him right now. Henry hasn't thrown anything back at him yet. He's gonna have to go.
There's a nice leg kick. Wow, what a combination by Moraes.
Nice counter from Cejudo.
Oh man, beautiful catch and return.
Marlon has done that twice where he's trying to look low and kick high.
The speed with which he throws those legs is incredible.
And he's just opening up with letting you know any one of these can separate you from your consciousness. And he seems very calm and relaxed in there.
And confident, right? He seems very confident in front of this fight, in front of his opponent, you know, in front of Cejudo.
Yeah,
he seems
and
very
Henry's
confident.
in trouble. He's in trouble with that leg already. And the difference is that Henry doesn't have the kind of power with his kicks that Marlon does. Henry can hurt you with his hands, but he's got to get close enough, and on the outside, Marlon is chewing him up.
Well, think about it already, right? He's landed low kick down at the calf, one at the thigh. He's thrown one high. He's hitting every target. Every target that's out there, Marlon's trying to attack him.
And he seems so settled. There it is again, hard one. Henry got a hold of the leg, and he gets it out easy.
Moraes does not have an Olympic gold medal in freestyle wrestling, but has been training with elite wrestlers, Frankie Edgar among them, for years and years. Was not too worried about getting taken down and kept there tonight.
That camp that he trains out of has some real killers. Zabit.
And already Henry switches stances. And the one thing that Henry Cejudo has really done since he went on this run is he fought in that karate type of stance. He can't really do that with Moraes because Moraes is blasting him with leg kicks. So now he's more in a traditional boxer type of fight stance, you know, boxer wrestler. And what's gotten him success has been his ability to be different.
He's also switching stances now, which opens him up for that big power kick.
Moraes did have some issues with the southpaw, John Dodson. Perhaps that's the way to go for Cejudo tonight.
Henry doesn't have an answer right now, and he's got to come up with one. And he's got to do something that changes the course of what's happening right now. Because right now he's getting picked apart.
He hasn't thrown many strikes to start this round, to start this fight, sorry.
And again, that inside leg kick. And again.
I mean, look at his left leg already on the outside. The inside of the right leg's gonna start looking at like that too very soon. If he takes any more of those inside kicks.
Not only did Moraes win a major title outside the UFC, defended it 5 times, about as long on championship experience as anyone ever crossed into the UFC. Nice body
to
kick.
the body. And as I was saying, we were leading up to this fight, when we would see him win so spectacularly, you wondered how he would look against world-class fighters. And the answer is better.
Yep.
I mean, he's grown since he's gotten in the UFC. He's better than he was before. Good defense there. Catches the punch. Oh, again. So fast.
And Cejudo's trying to really just now engage him a little bit, really bite down on the mouthpiece and try to earn Marlon's respect. He's going to have to do that at some point.
And even when Moraes dropped his UFC debut to Rafael Santos, didn't change anything, chalked it up to a bad night, and it has been all systems go ever since. 10 seconds now to go in round 1. We will follow Henry Cejudo into the red corner.
Hey, Henry. Have a seat. Give me your mouthpiece. Hey, this is Demetrius all over again, round 1. You're staying in his kicking range. Nice deep breath. Nice deep breath. Nice deep breath. Hey, we gotta be moving forward behind our punches, okay? Hey, two things. You're either backing up and he's throwing, or you're just kind of standing there. When you back up, you got to meet him in the middle. When he throws, you throw. That's your entrance. You're trying to go away and then come in. You go as he goes, okay? Go as he goes, and we punch our way in, all right? We want to be in punching range.
In round number 1, you see Henry throw his kick. Moraes counters with punches. Cejudo counters with punches. In the high kick, inside leg kick, right hand behind it. And then again, big step into the leg kick. Cejudo's asking his corner already to get the ice on the left leg. You know, so he's already starting to feel the damage of the Moraes kicks very, very early in a 25-minute fight.
Santino DeFranco's really been a calming influence in that Henry Cejudo corner, gives him a lot of confidence on fight night. We'll see if Cejudo can do what his coach has asked here early round 2.
He's asking him to move into punching range, but the problem that I see is I don't think he has an advantage there either.
He just landed a nice left hook there, I feel. Again, you got to be very careful. We just saw this in the last fight. You know, he's done so much damage to the legs. When he's looking down, if Henry's not careful, the high kick will land.
Now Henry's trying to put that pressure on him. But the question is, are his legs compromised? Can he move correctly now?
Well, I think Cejudo understands now that he cannot have range.
Henry clipped him.
And Marlon's smiling, which tells you that he felt it.
Yeah, he's moving his mouth around. Might have got clipped on the jaw.
Moraes continues to attack that lower half. Cejudo's done a pretty good job raising the guard up top, but Moraes does not discriminate.
The way he's eating those low kicks, you can only take so many of them. Oh, took that one to the head.
Cejudo loaded up on that right hand, Moraes able to avoid it. Henry, though, fighting much more relaxed than during the early portions of his UFC career. Glancing, spinning attack.
Well, he's having more success now.
Yes, he is.
Putting pressure on him, and he has hit him with some good punches. And I think he got his respect with that left hook.
Just one takedown attempt for Cejudo through 7 minutes.
Moraes is controlling this fight with just kicks. I mean, nobody's really landed great shots with the hands. But the kicks of Marlon is really dictating the fight. Henry's not pressuring him though, which is good at the smaller man. Pressure is key.
Cejudo touches that lead leg of Moraes, who feints.
Man, another one. And he's choosing to fight primarily southpaw because of the damage to the left leg. And meanwhile, he's getting chewed up on the right leg as well.
And then they'll have to start switching more, just more and more switches, right?
Oh!
Henry with a kick there. Henry with a punch.
Yep.
Oh, he's caught him on top of the head there.
Oh, another big right for Cejudo.
I mean, he's swinging.
But that's what he needs to do, right? He has to get some respect from Moraes.
Back-to-back big rights from Cejudo.
Moraes is standing there with him. And he could get clipped here. He's using good defense and he's moving well, but he's in danger.
Tide's starting to turn a little bit here. Cejudo
right
right.
hand by, good uppercut. Head kick.
Cejudo bloodied on that right side.
Cejudo's having way more success this round though.
Yeah, he's
by
putting
just
that pressure on.
Yep. This is good for Henry. Henry's saying, forget this technical fight, we're just gonna fight. And now he's having success.
He caught him in an uppercut.
Yep. Moraes has slowed down a little bit here.
Henry Cejudo has decided
it's
not going to be a slow pace.
Big knees from Cejudo. Moraes
Big
retreats.
shots from Cejudo. Marlon's in trouble. Oh my goodness. Marlon's letting him tie up like that.
He is not defending the tie clinch very well. Look at
Shot
this.
from Moraes. Easily stuffed by Cejudo, who goes to the body with the knee.
Marlon might be stunned. Those are big knees by Henry. This is a total different round. Oh my goodness.
This is how you answer if you're Henry Cejudo. Just make it a fight. Big right hand by Moraes. Henry's a little hurt. Cejudo got hurt with that big right hand. Bad. That very last punch of the round by Moraes hurt Henry.
when you're in the pocket, hey, nice deep breath. Give me a deep breath. Give me a deep breath.
Your mother? What did your mother do to raise you? She scraped every dime, every day, and worked hard to get you to fight. You understand what I'm saying? Look at me. Think about what your mother did for you. You rocked in that last punch. Stop going wide and go inside 4. They're going to tell him to shoot this round. Look at me, please. Stop countering wide. Counter inside. Listen to me. The biggest thing, don't put your damn head down. You're slowing and putting your head.
Here's a big leg kick from Moraes. And there's a right hand from Cejudo. That one landed. Look at this knee. Boom, on the chin. Knee to the body. Another one. Here's the end of the round. That right there might have hurt Henry. It looked like he buckled. But I'll tell you what, Henry Cejudo has a hell of a chance.
And he's so tough, man.
He knows how to win.
He's a winner.
And he made big adjustments in that second round.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. These Arizona boys are tough. Nice loads up, unable to land.
Mark Henry was telling Marlon, stop countering wide, counter straight. He's loading up, so Henry's just walking him down.
Here's another thought. Marlon Moraes cuts a lot of weight.
Yep.
How much is that going to affect his cardio, and is he slowing down right now? Because it appears he is.
Oh, Cejudo's putting a crazy pace on him, too.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people felt like Cejudo, once he moved up to 135 pounds, would do his best work. Did make his UFC debut as a bantamweight, but this is our first sight of Cejudo against a truly elite bantamweight.
Yeah, he had some problems cutting weight earlier in his bantamweight career, but then got it dialed in. Marlon is in front of him now. This is signaling an eye poke.
Hold time. Okay. Henry, it's now, but I saw it on the exchange. I know, relax. Look at me, Marlon, look at me. Can you see me? Perfectly well. Look at me, Marlon. You good? All right, good lad. Henry.
Marlon is busted up.
I know, just on the push away, that's all. No, yeah.
Let's take a look at it, see if we can find it. Yep. No, that's a punch.
Clean punch.
It was a punch to the eye that did that.
Well, I think we missed the, it was on the break. After they were starting to separate, he's saying that he got him when they were separating.
Cejudo unable to get Moraes down. Moraes greets him with a body shot.
Oh, nice combination.
He's got to get out of that clinch. He can't let Henry clinch him like that, but for Henry, that is spectacular. He gets that tie clinch and he has Marlon wrapped up, and Marlon seems paralyzed. He doesn't know what to do.
He's just blocking, right? He's just blocking.
It's not enough.
Yeah, he's just blocking with his arms.
Oh, no.
Wow.
He needs to be trying to clear that, dig underhooks to change the position. This is going to be this one's going to be a war of attrition when it comes down to the end, however long this goes. It's going to be who can keep the pace, who can work the hardest over the course of this last 12 and a half minutes.
The thing is, how much has Marlon slowed down? And what is he feeling right now? Because this is a very different Marlon Moraes in that first round. And he's eating some big knees to the body, which is going to accelerate that.
He already looked at the clock. He's looking at the clock already, Joe, sorry.
Oh,
he's getting submitted.
He got him.
He's not even fighting the hands, though, Joe.
Marlon's in big trouble.
He's not even fighting the hands.
He's trying to get out of this.
He's exhausted.
He really is.
Moraes is exhausted. Henry Cejudo's
breaking Henry with a big knee to the body.
Perfectly legal, under 2 minutes to go, round 3.
And that comes from that high-level wrestling. That comes from beating Demetrius Johnson over 25 minutes. It's just an ability to relax in the face of severe adversity that's carrying Henry Cejudo right now.
What an adjustment he made between 1 and 2.
Great point.
It looked like he was getting worked.
Yep.
And now it looks like he's winning.
Oh, he's winning. He won round 2, and now he's beating Marlon Moraes in round 3. Oh, Marlon jumping armbar.
No, he doesn't have the strength for it. Marlon is exhausted. He's getting beat up.
Big hammer fist from Cejudo.
Marlon's trying to take a break here. Just trying to rest.
You see the numbers.
Oh, big shots from Henry.
Oh!
Nice elbow by Cejudo. And I mean, you try to take breaks, but there are better places to rest than on the bottom, getting squeezed.
Under 30 seconds, round 3.
And Marlon Moraes is right in front of Mark Henry, his coach, and he really can't do anything. He's exhausted. He can't even defend himself. This fight is about to get stopped.
Big elbows from Cejudo.
Oh man, I thought the referee was going to stop it.
Oh,
he is.
That's it. Give him a second belt. Henry Cejudo is the UFC Bantamweight champion.
Henry Cejudo did it.
What a comeback. I mean, what a comeback. From that first round, it looked like the loss was inevitable. Henry turns it around completely in the second round and then stops Moraes.
In round 1, he was getting outclassed by Marlon Moraes. Completely changed it and finished it in the 3rd round.
Just stunning.
I mean, what a performance by Henry Cejudo.
When was the last time you ever saw someone getting that worked in the first round of a championship fight and then completely turn it around in the 2nd and 3rd?
You saw the mindset change, though. You saw, okay, this is not going to work, me standing out here. I'm just going to go get this dude. I'm just going to go fight him.
And look at him,
That's
man.
what
He can barely walk. But you saw him get up. He's stumbling. His legs are clearly compromised. Unbelievable.
And that very well might be the greatest combat sports athlete, resume-wise, of all time. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff Bold Character since 1872.
How do you argue against it? At this point, I mean, Olympic gold medalist, 2-division world champion, gets worked in the 1st round, comes back to stop the guy in the 3rd. I mean, just sensational turnaround by Henry Cejudo. Unreal mental toughness and the ability to make an adjustment that really defines a true champion.
I mean, just said, it's not working. I'm going to just go get him. I'm going to just make him fight me, and I'm going to make him work so hard that he's going to melt in front of me. And that's exactly what Henry Cejudo did. What a fantastic performance. This young man has had so many great moments, and I'm not sure any of them
All day,
will match
baby.
his.
And he was to make his UFC debut at UFC 177, August of 2014, was forced to withdraw on weigh-in day, told Sean Shelby he was going to retire. You fast forward 5 years, not only has he stayed in the game, he is at the top of the game. Henry Cejudo, your simultaneous flyweight and bantamweight champion. The official decision is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. One final time tonight. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 51 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by TKO and new undisputed UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Henry the Messenger Cejudo.
I'm here with the winner and new bantamweight champion and the current champ.
No, I'm not champ, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Triple C, Olympic champion, flyweight champion of the world, and now bantamweight champion of the world. I am the greatest combat athlete of all time, and I just stole the title for the best pound-for-pound fighter too.
You get no argument from me, sir. You had a difficult first round. You were getting kicked in the legs. You made adjustments in the 2nd round. Give us your thoughts on what your mindset was going into that 2nd round.
Well, I was fighting adversity, as you guys heard. and media day they had asked me, I had sprained my left ankle, and I couldn't do much, but I still wanted to fight. Very severely, a bad sprain. I taped it up, which is something that I've never done before. I take that back. I had to deal with that version with Demetrius Johnson, and I stuck to it, Joe. I believed in my team, Captain Coach, Captain America, who is not only my pound-for-pound king now, but I want to introduce you guys to the 2019 Coach of the Year, Captain Eric Albertson. Thank you, brother.
Give me your thoughts on what was going on in between rounds. You had a bad first round. Moraes was doing very well from the outside with the kicks, particularly to the legs, but you made a big adjustment.
It was all desire. I knew Marlon was throwing a lot of power, and you eventually throw that much power, you're gonna get burned. He threw too much of it. I stayed my composure, I stayed active, and that's all there was to it. I knew it was a dogfight. It was gonna be a dogfight, and now I'm the UFC bantamweight champion of the world.
What did you see in the second round that led to the shift?
His demeanor. His demeanor showed everything. We're in the game of poker, and when I saw his demeanor change, when I saw him start to drop his arms, I knew that it was time to eat.
Henry, that was a truly, truly sensational performance. It was an honor to call your fight. Congratulations on not just becoming the flyweight champion and the bantamweight champion, but also the first man to ever hold an Olympic gold medal and now two world titles, and a very good argument for the greatest combat sport athlete of all time. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, Joe. Mr. Dana White, wherever you are, I have a hit list. But I want to start getting paid. I want to start making heavyweight money. I'm gonna give you guys that list right now, because I'm a prize fighter, Joe. For all you 135 pounders, I'm gonna call out people personally. Dominic Cruz, Cody Garbrandt, Uriah Faber. At 145 pounds, I would like to eventually go up another weight class and solidify another belt too.
That would be sensational. Sir, again, it was an honor to call your fight. Congratulations. You're absolutely one of the best of all time. Henry Cejudo!
We're the best, baby! Pound for pound, we did it!
Don't put it past him, DC.
Never put anything past Henry Cejudo. He is truly a once-in-a-lifetime type of athlete, a guy that can overcome odds that are insurmountable to so many people. People would not even try to accomplish the things Henry does, but he does it consistently, and he did it again tonight.
And what a triumph for so many people. Captain Eric Albarracin, who you know so well, his brother Angel Cejudo, Santino DeFranco, Alan Byers, who started getting him in a boxing stance for the first time a few years ago. Team Cejudo on top of the MMA world here, June 8, 2019.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm stunned. I mean, I can't remember anyone ever making an adjustment like that and coming back to dominate in the second round the way he did. The way Moraes was chopping those legs and hurting him, it just looked like a matter of time. It looked bad. It looked bad. And to see him turn it around in the second round and start to hurt Moraes, it's almost like you didn't believe your eyes. Then when he got that tie clinch, I mean, it's like a movie.
Yeah, it was unbelievable to watch Henry adjust and take this title. What a performance by Henry Cejudo.
Next level mental and physical toughness. There is a new bantamweight king. He's the flyweight champ, Henry the Messenger Cejudo. UFC 238, Cejudo versus Moraes, has been brought to you by Motel 6. When you're ready to tap out, book online at motel6.com. We'll leave the light on. And by Poker Stars, pound for pound the greatest online poker experience in the world. Take on the best to win millions of prizes every day on Poker Stars.
I love going out and looking for up-and-coming talent. If you know me, you know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for talented, exciting fighters that go for broke and try to win. Just coming on to the Contender Series doesn't guarantee you're gonna get into the UFC. You have to come out and you have to perform. One shot.
Oh, big right hand from Hardy, and that is it!
And show me what you got. At the end of the night, I will make the decision on who gets into the UFC.
A UFC contract, it would mean that all the years that I put into it, again, all those hours, those restless nights, those odd jobs, those days of being broke, it was worth it.
There's something about sacrificing yourself towards a goal and sacrifice yourself to something that's incredibly difficult. Trying to achieve something and then doing everything you possibly can, trying to see just how far you can go.
I deserve this because I've been in this sport for long. I've sacrificed my time, my friends, my family to follow this dream.
I walked away from a college scholarship. I walked away from a job as a registered nurse because it's my dream. This is what I want to do. This is what I know I need to do.
I've recently quit my job. I moved in with one of my coaches, living off of an air mattress. I'm putting everything into fighting right now because this is what I want to do.
I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, get a workout in, go to work. Immediately after work, I go to the gym and spend a lot of time at the gym and have a little bit of time at home to spend with my family.
I'm sacrificing my future just for a chance. I'm out to prove that I'm the best.
I'm fighting for moms, show you guys that you can do anything you set your mind to.
I'm looking to prove all the haters wrong.
My goal is simple, to be the greatest of all time.
I fight for my people. I fight for my daughter, Camilla.
I fight for all the girls who need a hero.
Man, it's just something I wanted my whole life. I know I can beat all the guys in the division. Just give me my opportunity.
It's about not giving up. I'm not ready to quit.
I've been through a lot of hard times. I'm here. It means everything to me.
All right, here's a look at what's coming up, brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Catch all the action with Metro by T-Mobile. Get knockout coverage on a network that rivals the big guys for way less. 10 days from now, June 18th. Season premiere, Dana White's Contender Series, live from the UFC Apex, yours on ESPN Plus at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The following week, June 25th, it'll be week 2. Featured bout there at welterweight, Miguel Caramel Thunder Baeza and Ramiz Brahimaj. Saturday, June 22, UFC's first show in South Carolina. The featherweights, Renato Moicano, the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung, the men on the marquee. Main card, ESPN Plus. Prelims, 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN 2. Saturday, June 29th from Minneapolis, Minnesota, UFC Fight Night, Ngannou versus Dos Santos, 9 p.m. Eastern for that main card on ESPN, all leading into UFC International Fight Week 2019 and UFC 239 on July 6th. John Jones, Thiago Santos fronts a championship doubleheader on pay-per-view from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. What else can you say about Henry Cejudo? This is a man for whom I would put nothing past.
Nothing. Unstoppable belief in himself. I mean, that guy's he's a maniac. I mean, incredible.
It's absolutely insane to watch someone almost will things into existence, right? Like, he went from in the first round getting washed out. I mean, he's getting completely wiped out. And he went back to his corner and decided it wasn't going to go that way. And he changed it and really took it to Marlon Moraes. It was crazy how quick the tide turned.
And then his coach, Eric, came over with a cell phone to show us a picture of his ankle from just a few days ago.
It was black and blue. It was massive.
The whole thing black and blue.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, it's an incredible triumph. And to think that this is a guy who's been competing and succeeding down 10 pounds for Marlon Moraes, right, who had been largely perfect for almost 9 years.
And then he's saying he wants to fight at 45.
I mean,
I'm in.
He could do whatever. I mean, honestly, at this point, like, I don't know who you bet against Henry Cejudo with.
Right.
He just has a way of getting his hand raised. I've seen him do it since he was like a 17-year-old kid. Like, it just never changes. And the guys in the gym were like, is Henry going to win? I was like, well, what else does he do?
ABC, always bet on Cejudo. So Henry Cejudo now seems to have his focus on a bantamweight title defense. Not a great night for the flyweight division here, incidentally. Your thoughts? We had Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan with big wins tonight. Those were not the names Henry invoked, though, inside the
Well, he wants big money. That's the thing. The reason why he called Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber is because those guys are more famous. I mean, that's really what it is. He, as he said, he's a prize fighter. He wants heavyweight money. Look, the guy's a hero. I mean, what he is after that fight, I mean, he could do whatever he wants. I'm on board.
I mean, yes, he wants the fights with the names, right? The issue is the names are not necessarily at a point where they would be fighting for titles. I mean, hell, I tried to fight Brock Lesnar, though.
Right.
So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But, I mean, Cody's lost, what, 2 in a row or 3 in a row now? Dominic is hurt and hasn't fought.
Yes.
Uriah Faber's retired, I believe. So,
No,
I mean,
he's coming back.
He's coming back.
Uriah's
so
coming back.
I get it, you know, but
Uriah signed. He signed for a fight
I think
already.
maybe Aljamain Sterling would be the guy because he looked phenomenal tonight. He looked great. Aljamain looked great tonight.
And that'll be something to deal with for Cejudo. Let us get to Valentina Shevchenko, the UFC women's flyweight champion. If she got that type of response in Kyrgyzstan when she went home after outpointing Jędrzejczyk, what are they going to do after the highlight of all highlights?
My worry coming into this fight was that this is a mismatch, and that when you deal with a mismatch with one fighter who has incredible toughness and heart and belief in herself, but in comparison, a limited range of skills, and she's fighting a virtuoso, and that's what Valentina Shevchenko is. She is an assassin. I mean, what she can do inside that octagon, she's as good as any fighter on the planet Earth.
I mean, she looked phenomenal. I mean, and Jessica Eye was a step behind the whole time, and once she started blasting those body kicks, right, we listened to it between round 1 and 2. It sounded horrible. Right. But then the one to the head sounded the exact same.
Yeah.
So that is how frightening it was to watch Valentina land that kick. And when a person gets head kicked and they fall flat on their back and they go to sleep immediately, I mean, she completely shut the lights off.
All right, let's get to Tony Ferguson and Donald Cerrone, and maybe the fight will be remembered for how it ended. But big picture for Tony Ferguson, this guy's been the #1 contender since 2015, won 12 straight fights in what has been the UFC's best division for a decade. What else can you say about this guy's resume? He's underappreciated.
He's amazing. That second round, the first round, they're feeling each other out. Tony was landing maybe the harder shots. Cowboy's getting a little busted up towards the end. But then the second round, Tony took over. I mean, he took over. And I swear to God, the guy didn't look tired at all. It didn't make any sense. He's pushing this insane pace. He's constantly moving. You see no deep breaths. You see nothing. And he didn't have a mark on his face. I mean, he managed to roll away from the shots, and the shots he was landing, every one of them was like he had a brick in his glove.
Yeah, exactly. Like Donald was landing, right?
Yes.
Donald was landing in round 1, even with Tony. Very competitive. And as we said at the end of round 2, great first round, very competitive. Second round, not so much. Because you saw Tony Ferguson starting to really pull away. And you understand how dominant and how nasty a guy is when his last 2 fights have both been stopped on the stool.
Yeah.
Right? It hasn't been him jumping on a guy and landing, finishing blows.
Right.
These fights are getting stopped on the stool. Donald's eye was so beat up from the damage that he put on him that they had to stop the fight. Anthony Pettis was so beat up that they had to stop the fight.
Right.
He's putting this tremendous damage on these guys, and honestly, he deserves a title fight. And it's scary as a guy that's a teammate of Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Sure.
Because that's the toughest matchup.
He's the toughest matchup, for sure. There's no one like him. That's the boogeyman. I mean, really is the boogeyman.
Oh, yeah.
El Kukui is a great nickname
crazy,
for him because he's the boogeyman. And, you know, there was an unfortunate ending to the fight. And when I talked to Dana White said they're going to try to set up a rematch.
Oh, wow.
That was the inside word.
Wow.
Whether or not that comes to fruition, who knows? I mean, anything can take place between now and when Dustin Poirier fights Khabib.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's time.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
If they rematch those guys, there's still time for them to fight and fight the winner. Maybe they fight on the same card.
I was gonna say.
But that fight was trending in the wrong direction for Donald Cerrone.
It absolutely
So,
was.
I mean, to go and put him back in there, it's a tough ask, honestly.
Well, maybe they rematch in Abu Dhabi at UFC 242, but eventually prevailing theory, I would think, would be that Tony will get a shot at the
Well, we got to remember, Tony was the interim champion, right?
Yeah.
He submits Kevin Lee off his back, then unfortunately hurts his knee during press,
Yeah, it's
which
crazy.
is crazy, and they strip him of his title, which not that fair, right? But
I mean,
this is the thing they're doing when they're trying to make money. You know, you're trying to sell big pay-per-views.
Right.
But the money is in Tony Ferguson right now.
Man, I'm telling you, Tony Ferguson is as good as they come.
But then again, you know, you see Dustin Poirier stop
Dustin's
Max
nasty.
Holloway, and you go, well, what the hell? I mean, who you know, Dustin Poirier is an animal too.
The division's just crazy, though, right?
It's
Like, that
crazy.
is just the craziest division
That's the
in the
division.
entire UFC. That's the one that when they put them in the main event, I'm there.
And the champion is undefeated.
Right.
Who the hell is undefeated?
At 28 fights.
Crazy.
I mean, 28 fights with no losses.
And not even a close one. 28 maulings.
Oh, yeah.
Nuts.
Absolutely.
28 ass kickings.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
This is all why I stopped watching baseball, by the way.
Oh, is that why?
Joe Rogan, Danny Cormier, great job, fellas.
My pleasure, my brother. Always good.
Yeah, it's fun.
The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC President Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Patrick Weitzel. Our Executive VP of Operations and Production is Craig Borsari. Our coordinating producer is Zach Candido. Tonight's show has been produced by Lappy LaPlante and directed by the venerable Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Hell of a night in the second city. Petr Yan living up to the hype and then some. Clay Guida all smiles as his Hall of Fame induction with Diego Sanchez was made official. Cerrone Ferguson was all the rage coming in. El Cucuy extends his winning streak to 12. He gets the TKO at the end of round 2. Tony Ferguson's winning streak is firmly intact as he gets the better of Cowboy Cerrone. That set the stage for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship fight. It was all Valentina Shevchenko as she turns in a highlight for the ages to dispose of Jessica Eye properly. And then what a championship main event we had between Henry Cejudo and Marlon Moraes. Moraes got off to an outstanding start in round 1. Cejudo dug deep as he often does. He leaves with a belt over each shoulder. With that, for Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, and the rest of the crew, John Anik saying so long from Chicago. We will see you next month from Las Vegas for UFC 239. Good night.